Good morning. Happy Friday. Give yourself a pat on the back, ladies and gentlemen. You made it to the weekend. Go ahead and give yourself a good round of applause here. The weekend has arrived. Thank you for coming in and giving us any of your valuable time. If you do miss any of our show, you can catch us on YouTube, powered by audiolabs.io. And while you're over there, go ahead and hit that subscription button. It says subscribe and it's red. You can't miss it over on YouTube. Lots to get to. We have 3 WNBA games, 4 Summer League games, debut of Paulo Banchero, Jabari Smith, Shaden Sharp gets injured, and we got a lot more to cover. And remember, friends don't let friends eat mid-breakfast. Say no to hash browns. You'll thank me later. We have 808s in the building. You can catch him hosting Madhouse on Madison when the season starts. But currently, we'll be covering the Big Three Championship and covering the Chicago Skies, maybe even the Dallas Wings in the future. I see Papi Chulo and Rolo, 77 Spaces, is in the building. Had a great show talking all things Mavs with their other co-host, Jazz, a.k.a. Scammer Sultan. We want to say what's up to Daniel Evans. What's up, D? It's good to see you, my man. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing well. Justin Payton in the building. Go ahead while you're over there in YouTube land. Check him out too. Hit a subscription for him. Great reaction videos and content. All right, I'll be back in about 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Well, that was the fastest 30 seconds in the world because it was really only 11. I lost my place where I was in the music. All right. Hey, good morning. You made it. It's Friday. It's the weekend for us. Lots of basketball to get to. Want to shout out everybody that makes this show possible, which is you, the listener, because without y'all, I would just be talking to myself, which, seems to kind of happen during the summertime. Last night, great games in the W. We'll get to that. We have a blowout of record proportion as well. And we got NBA news. 1 second, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Hoop Spaces. All right. We're going to open off like we do during the off season with the WNBA. The Chicago Sky visited Indianapolis to play the Indiana Fever. This game was in the Indiana Farmers Coliseum, which is where the state fair is. I have a personal issue with the way the Indiana Fever have to play. They have to play in several different venues instead of one. I wish they would get their own. And then on top of that, they black it out, so I can't even watch. So I couldn't even watch Messerman handle her business and Kelsey Mitchell go off for 27. The Mercury and Liberty game, though, I did watch. And ladies and gentlemen, the New York Liberty are who we thought they were. 84-81, Phoenix Mercury beating the Liberty. That's not good. New York needs to continue to press the momentum if they want to actually, secure this playoff spot. Sabrina Ionescu, 22-10 in a loss here. She's actually come on really well in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Breanna Stewart leads the Storm over the Sparks, 106-69. And I asked again if any Los Angeles team can do something positive, please. A lot of the fans are starting to get a little bit worried. 808s is getting ready to come on up. If you want to come up, please, by all means, request Mike, come on up on stage, like and retweet the show card. It's much appreciated. It's the only currency that we have here on Spaces as we continue to build the best basketball community here on Twitter. Good morning, 808s. How are you?
Good morning, Chris. Good morning to the good people of Who Spaces was popping.
All right. That was pretty quick, short and sweet. You all right?
Yeah, listen, man. I don't know what else you can really say when you 16-6 and you leading over the entire league. Listen, a lot of people didn't see this. I saw this. Candace Parker said before the season even started, we're not repeating if we don't actually have championship DNA, championship mentality. And that's exactly what this team has, and that's what you saw last night.
Well, I'm glad you saw it. I didn't, but I'm also probably happy that I didn't because I don't like the direction that the Fever are going in. They seem to have said, "Hey, we're going to get a whole bunch of young people and get these young women out here," and then they don't play them. And I just I shake my head. Akhil's popping up here. Akhil, good morning. Oh wow, look at that. All right. As always, if you can't come up or you don't want to come up, there's a chat box in the bottom right. Hop in there. I already said good morning. I'll go ahead and hop down there. 808's what you got, man. I think it's.
I mean,
I'm back.
to be fair to the Fever, I mean, I know they're like 5-19 now. Yeah, 5-19.
Yeah.
But out of their 19 losses, about a good 12 or 13 of them have come by like 9 points or less, like deficits. So, like they're fighting hard. They're in almost every game. Like this game was tight pretty much, except for like maybe like a 5 or 6 minute stretch. That was pretty much it. But Indiana is a good team. I know that's crazy to say about a team that only has 5 wins going into All-Star break, but I don't blame the players. I blame the direction of the front office and Carlos Knox. It's just not working.
They were down 20 heading into the fourth. That's all you need.
Yeah, bro. It's free Kelsey Mitchell. She needs to go somewhere productive, and leave Indianapolis forever. Because she's a hooper. Like, I think that there's not a lot more fun people to watch than Kelsey Mitchell play basketball. And she's stuck in the perils of Indianapolis. Get her out of there. She doesn't need to be there anymore. She served her time in jail. She needs to be freed immediately.
I can't really find a counter argument. The number 2 pick of this past W draft, not really getting a lot of pub, but Melissa Smith had a great game last night. So maybe Akil's right. Maybe it's time to move Kelsey to a contender or at least another team.
Okay, this is what I have to say to 808s. 808s, but what do you mean a lot of people didn't see this with the Chicago Sky? Like, you lose Steph Dolson, you add Emma Meesman. A lot of people don't see this with the Sky. Like, come on, bro.
Akhil, hold on. I'm here every day. I'm plugged. I know what I've been hearing. I know what I've been seeing. Nobody thought the Sky would be this good or clicking the way they are.
They lost Steph Dolson and added a Finals MVP.
Akhil,
like, what do you
okay,
mean?
You can say the stats, you can tell me the accolades, but I'm telling you what people on this app have been chirping the entire season.
We run in different circles because everybody.
We must, because I'm telling you what I've heard, and Chris and everybody else in the space can pretty much attest to it.
Yeah, I know in the beginning of the season, most people didn't think Chicago would be able to repeat, even with adding a Finals MVP. And the issue was that they don't have the depth, was what the main argument was.
Which is crazy, because like through the first 4 weeks of the season, they were like 500 until Kai got back. And then Emma Meesman was clearly carrying at one point, averaging like a double-double. And then Candace is hot, and then now she was like 8 points over the last like 5 or 6, besides last night.
Like Candace might be DPOY this year. Like Azure Stevens is your third big, and she might win 6th Woman of the Year. Like, do you know how unfair it is to have Azure Stevens as your third big on your basketball team when she might be other teams like best?
Listen,
like,
I've been saying all season, the trio. The front court trio of Candace.
The only team that could match that is Connecticut with Bree Jones, because they just got AT back.
Connecticut can't match anything.
But like, I mean, they also have like the same trio of bigs, right? Like AT, JJ, and then Bree Jones now. Like, it's crazy what they're doing out there in Chicago, man. James Wade's a fantastic coach. I've always thought he was really, really good. But yes, Stewie is your MVP of the league, everybody. Brianna Stewart's very good at basketball.
Stewart is not the MVP of this league. It is clearly Asia Wilson.
You know what? I think we got our first poll in the morning. Give me a third.
We're not doing this, Chris.
Oh,
we're not putting that in a poll.
We are definitely putting this up in a poll.
To embarrass Brianna Stewart, he's a great player, but we know it's clearly Asia. Come on now.
I don't know. Like, this might be the first year, though. I think it actually is going to be the first year, though. It's where the MVP won't be the leading scorer of their basketball team, because like Kelsey Plum has had a hell of a season this year as well, right? Like, new coach, she's lit it up. She's made kind of a starish jump. Clearly Asia is the best player of that team. Like nobody's not saying that. But you know what? Me as a Storm fan, I just gotta get my Stewie love off.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Stewie's been phenomenal, man. Like defensively too, she's been a monster this year. Like she is everywhere. Ezzy as well. Like she's in the defensive like player of the year conversation. Those two just make up like a twin terrors down there. Like nobody wants to test us at the rim. They're phenomenal, man. But yeah, a ton of really, really good teams. Where do you think Sky Diggs is going to get traded? If you do think she gets traded,
Oh, that's a good question. I think she is after this entire fiasco. I actually think there's big changes coming to Phoenix in the offseason. It's pretty much unattainable. But a lot of people kept, at least in the group chat or in the spaces, say the Sparks.
I don't know why. I truly don't know why.
do you think the Sparks, Chris?
Well, that's just what they're saying. I don't know. I don't follow it that deeply to pick where she's going to go.
Yeah.
I just see her traded because you can't have your coach say there's no All-Star game when you have a player representing a team. Like that's just bad. You know
There's
what I mean?
three options, and I say this objectively as possible. Either there's Connecticut, it could be LA, or James Wade throws his hat in the ring and she goes to Chicago.
I've thought about Chicago, but it's just like I don't know if she's as big. Like, what do? You send Salute the other way?
I mean, I wouldn't actually. The package that it's gonna have to wait till the 11th, but I have a package that is going to debut on the Hoopsters with Nad and Maliika and everybody. That I think it actually works, and it doesn't involve Salute.
Yeah, I just don't know how I like Salute and Diggs in the same backcourt, though.
They said the same thing about Salute and not Salute. They said the same thing about Skylar and Diana, and she's pretty much been carrying that team this entire season, though.
All right, everybody. The poll is up there. Who is your WNBA MVP favorite? All right, there's 4 choices. I only did 4. I took out Kelsey Plum, and the reason why I took out Kelsey Plum is oftentimes they'll split votes. So Asia Wilson's up there, Brianna Stewart's up there, Sabrina Ionescu's up there, and Candace Parker is up there. No, Jonquel Jones is not up there, ladies and gentlemen. I've already got a DM. No.
First of all, why would she be up there? She hasn't played like an MVP this season.
She plays for the Connecticut Sun, a.k.a. the Utah Jazz of the WNBA.
Listen, as a former MVP, I don't know how you're just okay with AT and Dewan and everybody else getting their shots up off in the 4th, and you're not. Like
the amount of times I just see Jonquel Jones just being a spacer and standing in the corners, like getting some catch and shoots off, like it makes me very upset. It really does make.
But how much of that is really her fault and not Kurt's like gameplay? Because
let me ask you this: like to me, and I'm making a comparison here to the NBA for a specific player. She reminds me a lot of like Marcus Aldridge here. Like it bothered me that when LMA was like in his prime, like he would be good until like the last 6 minutes of the 4th quarter, and then he would just stand around like over in the corner, flashing to the high post to try to get an open shot, and like all the other Portland Trailblazers would just be jacking up shots, and we're yelling at them to put the ball in the best player's hand. Like, is that what Jonquel Jones is going through?
I mean, not really. I wouldn't say that scenario is really like the best, I guess, kind of comparison, because there is no player on Connecticut that kind of matches or is better than Jonquel Jones. And LaMarcus Aldridge wasn't really the best player on his team. I mean,
who's a player in the NBA that just gets super passive but has like all of the talent in the world to be like
Carmelo?
But like Carmelo at his peak of the powers was like he was a killer.
I firmly believe if Carmelo would have had like just the mindset to do it, Carmelo could have been a top 20 player of all time.
A lot of people would argue that he is actually close to top 20.
Yeah, I don't know what they snorting.
All right. Akhil's up here. He is a Storm fan. The Storm handled the Los Angeles Sparks. And
Talk to us nicely, Chris. After
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about everybody else up here? Can we talk about how when NECA has one bad game, the Sparks just fall apart?
Yeah, we had NECA in a body box. What do you want him, what are we doing?
Oh, come on. She shot 4 for 10. It's not that bad.
Well, anytime Liz Cambage outscores you and shoots better than you, and
that defensive strategy was crazy though.
Respect Jewel Lloyd and Brianne January as defenders.
Yeah, those 7 assists were really nice.
Shout out Jewel Lloyd. I think she's probably going to have a second half push, and then might actually challenge Breanna Stewart for representation in this MVP poll.
I feel like people forget that like the Storm were leaning on her and Brianna through the first couple, like maybe like 10, 12 games or whatever, and then she had like a little kind of like fell off a little bit. But I don't know, Joe Lloyd slanders. It's been a little bit too much on this app. And do you see Danny Clapper? She know what I'm talking about.
She's had a great season, and so has their center, McBeggar.
Yeah, she has.
Ezzy.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the whole Tina Charles signing though. I feel like that you're limiting her again for another season.
No, like Tina's been great off the bench though. Like we finally have like once again like an overqualified sixth woman, but like she runs our bench unit. We run stuff through her through the post, and it's just like I remember there was a play where we ran a double drag. There was Tina and Stewie, and then you had Jewel Lloyd spotting up the corner. It's just like, all right, man, what do you do with that? Like, it was truly remarkable to see. So if she like fits in and just kind of plays her role on this team, like she will be a very, very overqualified sixth woman.
We have a Sparks fan. Shout out to Drew Mixon, ladies and gentlemen. Quote, went to the Sparks in the Storm game last night. Watching the Sparks makes my eyes hurt. Yes, that so very much. Yes, I was watching it, lining up, getting ready for the summer league to pop off, and the Sparks just it kind of deflated my energy.
I feel like we need to mention that. I mean, the Sparks aren't playing with a full team. They're down like 4 or 5 guards. Brittany is still in the health and safety protocols, if I believe. She didn't play last night. So, like, this isn't really a full team at, the same hand as well.
Well, yeah, but, like, they also they have a coach who ain't even going to be the coach. He already took a position somewhere else. He's not going to give it up. Like, they're going to end up being out of a GM, assistant GM. The whole scouting department is already getting ready to change over. Like, are we looking at basically a loss of institutional control franchise in the W already?
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but if we gonna stay on the Sparks, the fact that Lexi Brown is in the 3-point contest and she's shooting like 47% on like 7 attempts a game almost.
Yeah, she's been
that's bullshit.
She's been crazy this year. She's been like shouts to her. She's been great this whole season, pretty much.
It sucks having to give somebody from Duke credit, but yeah, she's had a phenomenal season.
What does Kelsey Mitchell have to do to get an All-Star selection? Like
it truly. I've thought about it, Chris. I mean, it's truly because the Fever are that bad. They don't want to show her any love.
That can't be the case, man. She's one of the top 10 scorers in the W, though. And she's the only one that's not an All-Star.
The Fever are this bad, and that's all it is. A lot of people might throw like the empty stats thing at her, like she just has to score because that team is that bad, and who else is going to do it? Like it sucks, but I mean, it's that argument. It's the Fever. It's the Fever's fault.
It's a volume issue, right? Like. If there's a vacuum, the vacuum is filled. Like nature abhors a vacuum, and it'll fill it with something. And Kelsey is there, and she's not really getting the credit she deserves performing that role because she's doing it remarkably. Instead, people are just like, oh well, she's just the only person. Like it's hard to be that person day in and day out, and she's literally been that person. Day in and day out, 42 from 3, 44 from the floor, 33 minutes a game. I don't know how she's not. Like, the math ain't mathing in my head.
Another thing that's bothering me all season, like, I don't understand what Henny has to do to just get some consistent play time, at least playing next to Kelsey and not playing like with the second reserves or the second, Jesus Christ, second team. Like the minutes they do play, like Indiana's offense actually starts, getting a rhythm, and they get back into games, and it's just like they just don't have enough. And the coaching, I've been saying it like as much as I can. I don't understand. Like it's not that hard. It's not. Play the star point guard.
I mean, maybe she's just not doing it in practice.
That's bullshit. She played 8 minutes last night, didn't take a single shot. That you know what that is. That's a silent protest.
They hate South Carolina guards. There's some discriminatory hate against South Carolina guards. Dallas, they don't let Harris play like she's supposed to play. They don't allow my girl Henny to play, who won the championship, by the way, and knows when to score and when not to score. I don't understand it. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the game last night because me and my husband went to go watch Thor: Love and Thunder last night. But I can't do Indiana. I just can't. I'm just hurt right now about how they do with my girl Henny. And good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Danny. KP is also up here, and since Danny broke the seal on Thor: Love and Thunder, is that the name? Like, that's just a bad name.
No, it's not. When you watch the movie, you get why they called it that. It actually makes sense.
I hate to defend KP here, but Marvel really been trash since the last Avengers movie.
I don't need to see the movie to like they played on the 80s hair metal, hair rock stuff, and that's just not me. Like they're playing like they used. I saw the trailer. Like, well, I didn't see it. I heard it because I just walk away when this stuff comes on the TV. But they were playing like AC/DC on the trailer, and I'm like, I'm 40. Why are you
like AC/DC? What the fuck?
No.
I love rock. I love 80s rock. Don't hate man.
Look, don't be fooled, people. The 80s sucked in regards to music until like
don't listen to
80.
Well, of course the 80s sucked. Reagan was president.
It did suck. And you need to stop 808. How old are you, 808? How old are you?
He wasn't even alive.
I turned 25 in March.
He wasn't even alive.
Still on that Similac. Oh, that's what's
hey, yo,
wrong.
relax.
They had that shortage of Similac and you were dying for
Wait a minute. Did they even have Similac back in the 80s?
Well, the mother's milk, whatever they had. I can find you some. If you want me to send you something down, I'm right here in Houston. I'll send you one. That's what's wrong with you.
Tell us how bad this movie is, man.
Good morning. Good morning to all people in the space. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you bringing me up this fine morning. I'm gonna derail the Revis really quickly, Chris, because I took my time, went to go see this movie yesterday. I'm gonna give you guys some advice. Listen to me. I've been right for 11 months going. Next month it'll be 12 months. It'll be my anniversary of being right all the time. If I wanted to go see When Harry Met Sally, I would have rented that movie. I would have found it on the streaming app. I didn't want to go see When Harry Met Sally in cosplay. I didn't want to go see that, Chris. I wanted to see a nice comic book movie. I don't like mid movies. Why are you, as Chris said just now about this rock band stuff, Marvel been feeding y'all nostalgia and y'all hooked on the nostalgia. Y'all hooked on that good old feeling, if some of y'all was even born at that time for it to be nostalgia. Come on, man. Stop watching these crap mid movies. Get your life. Shout out to Viola Davis for making a movie that looks good. The Woman King. That movie's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
shout out to Jordan Peele for making Nope. That movie's going to be awesome. This loving crap. Listen, man, Sunday I'm going to turn into, I have very specific things I'm going to get into on Sunday at 8 p.m. I'm going to tear this movie apart. It's so bad. It's so bad. But I'm not.
KP, you see him awake?
Hold on. I'm not going to go tell you guys to not go see the movie. That's what I don't do. I will tell you this. Go see the matinee. Don't waste your time on a full ticket. And make sure you got something fun to do after, because you're gonna be bored to death. You're gonna be like, oh my God, Well, if you do what I did last night, and this was the last thing you did, matter of fact, thank God for the boys that they dropped that episode last night, because I would have went to sleep upset. So make sure you got something fun to do after you see this movie, because it's very forgettable. It's not rewatchable. This is what should have been on Disney Plus, and Miss Marvel should have been in the theaters. But
let me ask you this question.
Sure.
I have always disliked Thor. He is the worst Avenger to write lines for. Like everything the man said, I'm not making fun of the actor. I think he's doing the job perfectly. What's his name? Hemsworth?
Chris Hemsworth.
But like these writers, they gotta do better. Every movie he's in is literally like, I'm big white guy that looks good to white women. Like that's all I get from the dude.
He looks good to black women, sir.
Can I say this, Chris? Taika Waititi, you wrote this movie. You're like, you try to do Puff Daddy. You had to put yourself in the movie as Korg. You just had to do it. You just had to do it, right? So if I wanted to go see Eddie Murphy Raw with all the jokes, I would have found that on streaming too. Stop with every joke ain't funny. Every joke, because you make a funny face and you try to hit the boom, boom. It don't hit, man. Stop with the jokes. Make a good movie. Stop making mid. Stop making trash movies, Marvel fans. I've been trying to tell y'all, 12 months is coming. I'm going to have a celebration of me being right not all the time, but all the time. All the time, the executive head has been right. Y'all going to give me my flowers or I'm going to take it. Y'all been on that MCU drug, just like y'all been on that iPhone, Apple drug. They got y'all hooked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. Y'all been beating yourselves over the head trying to fool yourself into thinking something good when it's not. Stop.
So what you going to do when Black Panther 2 come out?
I'm going to enjoy it. Matter of fact, thank you for that layup. All you recast Black Panther fans get me sick. And I'm going to end on this. Y'all want to Hold on. Let me finish. No, you can't stop me because I haven't. You can't stop my point. You can't stop my point you can't stop my point if I didn't make my point. All you recast Black Panther fans that want the movie to fail, how dare you want a movie to fail because your favorite character ain't in it? And you want a movie to fail with a black director. You want a movie to fail with a black cast. You want a movie to fail with a black set designer and costume designer that won an Academy Award, but because your favorite character ain't in it, and you want a movie to fail that the guy that the last time you heard his voice as a character was literally 12 months ago, but you want the movie to fail. That's whack. That's dumb. So when the movie comes out, I'm going to go buy 2 tickets and I'm going to give one away. So I hope it makes $2 billion the first day. So all you recast clowns that want the movie to fail to go jump off a roof. And I'm done.
Jeez.
Now, with that rebuttal, I'm going to say this. I am one of the people that believe in recast T'Challa. Now, with that speaking, I don't believe that movie should fail. I do believe that movie should do good. Me and my husband are going to see it. We always get our tickets early. But for everybody to understand here, there's a difference between recast T'Challa and recast and the Black Panther mantle. Anybody could be Black Panther, but T'Challa, I want that Storm love story with him and Storm, but you need an X-Men to come in. That's a whole nother story. I'm a nerd, comic book nerd.
Got to come on Sunday, Danny. That Sunday at 8 with KP Views. That's why we're letting this go on so people can hear and do exactly what you're doing, but on Sunday.
And don't y'all let that. One more thing, the Woman King. Y'all, talk to y'all toxic black men friends, okay? Don't be acting stupid about black women fighting because it's loosely based off a true story. So that's all I got to say about that. KP going to hit me up. We know what we're going to do. I got to get in that. Sunday at what time? What time Sunday so I can put it on my calendar?
8 p.m. I put it in the chat. I'm going to put it up top. And last thing, Chris, Viola Davis is my muse. The book that I'm writing is centered around her as an actor playing the main character. I have to get her to be in the movie when my book becomes a movie. So make sure you guys come out on Sunday. It's going to be generational. If you like this movie, you can come. If you hate this movie, you can come. I'm going to be fair, but I'm a kill this movie. I'm going to put it in the dirt where it should have been, where it should go, and where it should stay.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, KP Views is going to be part of the Spaces Reviews push that we're going to have here. Make sure you shoot him a follow. Tune in Sunday at 8 p.m. Also, if you like basketball talk on a specific singular topic, well, we got the show for you as well. Last night, Ryan Kane, Hoops Faces Ryan, he joined Maliika Walker on the Rewind last night, ladies and gentlemen. It was a great show. Edwin Garcia of LakersTakes.com was there, and they talked about They Call Me Magic, which is the documentary that Magic greenlit to counteract Winning Time, which is based on the Jeff Pearlman book. So if you haven't listened to it, hop in. It's a different format, too. They spent more time as a panel actually talking about the documentary before bringing people up. I had a great time listening last night. That is also up there. So you got more than just us here talking W and Summer League. 10:30, we're 30 minutes in. I want to say welcome to everybody. Thank you for coming in and spending any part of your time. We value that. Thank you. Also, go over to YouTube and check us out over there. You can watch all the replays, and pretty soon we'll have a discussion with audiolabs.io so we can get more content creators into this beta process through the Hoop Spaces community here, so we can get basically a full service multimedia company centered around what we're building here. So thank you for being a part of that. Any WNBA takes that we still want to get off your chest? Dany D is up here. 808 is up here. Also up here is Dip Horace. What's up, Dip? It's been a minute. How you doing?
All good. All good here. Talk a little WNBA, even though I missed like the past 3 weeks of it. But I still want to get some takes off.
Yeah, what you got?
The thing about the Kelsey Mitchell, I do think she should be an MVP. I do think she should be not MVP, but an All-Star. Strictly off the numbers, just off some of the people. I believe Aaron Atkins made it again this year. I think I would swap those two out. I would probably put Atkins in and put Mitchell in her place.
All right. Anybody else? I like that idea. I mean, I don't know why she's not there. I honestly don't know why they don't, like most All-Star events, they tend to try to get at least one player from each team, right, to get representation. So yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. 808s, what do you think? All right, appreciate you.
You want to get that film back.
Dany D, what are your thoughts? Kelsey Mitchell not being on the All-Star team.
You know what's unfortunate? She does carry that team. It's just that they're not winning, and it's kind of hard to put people in an All-Star team when your team ain't winning. And the mindset is out of sight, out of mind. That's what it is. Because if that team has some good wins, I mean, like some wins against some of the top teams, maybe that might have got people's attention. But, I don't even watch Indiana because I expect them to lose too. I'm just being real.
Hey.
Sorry to say that.
Trae Young made an NBA All-Star game with a sub 500 record. Why can't?
But he's exciting. Kelsey got to sell it. Yeah. She got to sell it.
I think she sells it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to Indiana being so pitiful for the past. It's not that they've just been bad. It's been it's been saddening. So I do think that plays a part.
They are definitely not giving me any reason to pick them as the team that I root for. I can tell you that. I started this season, I said by the end of the season, I'm going to have the team I'm going to root for. And I narrowed it down to the Indiana Fever and the Washington Mystics. And I just got to tell you, as someone who went through the process, at least I saw the process. I don't know what the heck they're doing in Indiana. You can't even see the process because they don't play their young players. All right, we'll see if 808 is back one last time. Dang. All right.
Getting that morning breakfast down, sir. That's what you're doing. Getting that morning breakfast down.
We had summer league performances last night, ladies and gentlemen. 4 games, and I tell you what, if you were like me, you were up until about 2 in the morning because that's when the coverage stopped. So we had the Sixers beating the Thunder 80-79. Alexei Pukashevsky 14-5-2. Isaiah Joe looking good in summer league. He was somebody. He's a third-year player who volunteered to play. And he's doing this so he can show Philadelphia that he can A, get run if he's on the main squad, or B, he's a viable trade commodity, as is Paul Reed. So keep your eye on Isaiah Joe and Paul Reed, because more than likely it's Philadelphia trying to give them some run to build up trade value to get additional assets for you-know-who. The Grizzlies beat the Jazz 95-84. I'm going to tell you this now. The Utah Jazz, if they trade Donovan Mitchell, are going to challenge San Antonio for the most tankerous team this season. They have yet to win a summer league game, and when you watch them, like, it's bad. It's real bad. Jared Butler's the best player, 22-7-7 in the loss. Zaire Williams, 19-4, looking really good for Memphis. And Memphis is going to have a deep, deep squad, man. Like, they're going to have one of the first G League teams that would be a viable minor league team where you could bring people up. It's going to be very interesting to see what they got going on. And then
Chris, you talk about the real Utah Jazz in Connecticut, my bad.
The Utah Jazz. See, he's back.
Okay.
He's back.
Did I miss something? I had a meeting, my bad.
You done got 2 horns, brother.
I had 2 horns. I had my hand up.
I called on you, man.
Man. Listen.
Meeting.
I'm out of here at 12. So, it's cool.
Right. Cool. Then the matchup that everybody wanted to see last night, Jabari Smith and Paulo Banchero, the Magic 91, the Rockets 77. Paulo 17-4-6. Christopher led the Houston Rockets in scoring. Jabari Smith, he had 10-7 with 3 assists, and they are already crying about fit in Houston because of Jabari Smith Jr.
Well, for one, Chris, they were already crying they didn't get Paulo. And then they talked themselves into saying, you know what, we're fine. We got Jabari Smith. Everything's going to be good. And now, one summer league game, and it's just, you know what?
One.
First of all, you let me watch my mouth. Y'all wasn't going nowhere in the first place.
Right? Like,
y'all are due for the lottery next year.
Championship. One game, and like the entirety of the fan base was like, I'm done. So shout out to Jabari Smith. Welcome to the NBA. The Detroit Pistons, ladies and gentlemen, took on the Portland Trail Blazers and won 81-78. I'm going to give a couple of shout outs for the Blazers, right? Shaedon Sharpe injured. I want to make sure he gets some love. It's never good to be a lottery pick and get injured in your first game. He's expected to have an MRI to find out the severity of the shoulder injury. But I want to give another shout out to Luka Garza. He is still in the league. A lot of people said he wasn't going to be drafted. Former NCAA Player of the Year, has a chance to make the Portland squad. It's going to be interesting. So shout out to Luka Garza. We've got Jayceon, that's YC. We got JFK, and Domo has joined the stage. Want to give a shout out to everybody down below. Nat, Reese Rebel 31 is in the building. We're getting ready.
Is she really?
She's in the building. Do you want her to come up and like be mean to you?
I mean, she's already mean to me. Text me back. It's cool.
Wow, just calling her out.
You can add me to the list of people that don't text 808 back.
You don't text the group chat back. What are you talking about?
I texted Evan back like separately.
Oh, wow. Damn. Okay, cool.
I see how it is. All right. Now that I have both you here, though, I need a date, a time, and
no. It's cool. I'm not a second option.
I cannot go outside for another 5 days.
Okay.
Listen, Boncaro's a superstar, yo. He's a superstar.
You hear Ant? He always yells outside.
Unlike some of y'all, I'm gonna be COVID conscious and responsible, so I won't be touching the streets until next Thursday, I think is when. Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, but can you touch?
Wait, hold on. Why can Evan get a text back, but I can't? What did I do?
I'm just petty.
Oh,
I specifically did it so I could throw it in your face at a point in time.
oh wow.
Yeah,
You know, just let you know, I do feel a certain kind of way, honestly.
Yeah, he plans.
Bro, you literally, it's 3 people in all of Twitter Spaces that have my phone number, and you're one of them. You should feel some sort of happiness.
Oh, I do. Thank you. Wow, I didn't know that.
Like, it's celebrities don't have my phone number, and you do. Like,
Yeah, see, I mean, damn.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah,
I'm special.
You are.
Shut up. This is why I'm not nice to you.
Wait, what are you talking about? He just joked himself. He said he's special, and I said he is. That's a.
This is why I'm not nice to 808s.
Yeah. What's up, YC? How you doing?
First and foremost, greetings. Shout out to the host, speakers, and listeners. Salutations, konnichiwa, ohayo gozaimasu, bonjour, hola, guten tagen, whichever way that you say hello. It is IYC. I am here to let you know yesterday's Orlando Magic game versus the Houston Rockets was the best what the fuck are we gonna do with these kids game that I've ever seen. I loved the fact that Orlando Magic are going to completely fail Caleb Houston, and I cannot wait for him to come to my team, the New Orleans Pelicans, in about 2 or 3 seasons. I can already tell that this kid is special. What he brings to the game, he brings a variety of things to the game. The fact that this kid is 6'8", 205, he's quick, he's agile. I like that. It's almost like he floats like a butterfly. Like it's beautiful watching this kid do what he does around the perimeter. Like it's wonderful. Also, the one thing that I noticed, I said this yesterday. I said as long as Jabari Smith can show us that he wants to go for these rebounds, he wants to get these boards, he wants to be dominant. And what did he do last night? He got six of his 7 rebounds was on the defensive end. Like he was cleaning the glass. Like that's what he was trying to do. Granted, he played a lot of minutes, logged a lot of minutes. Just trying to get out there, get his footing in. He went 4 for 10. I don't care about that. The boy had jitters. Like it's cool. When it boils down to it, I think that we're looking at the future of the NBA with a Jabari Smith. I think that once he gets down packed this idea that, and I don't know who I was talking to yesterday. I don't know if it was Kale or somebody else. They were talking about how he moves very twitchy. Like once he gets down the flow of the game, he's going to be really special. I really, really didn't like watching Josh Christopher take 18 shots. For me, and when you're showcasing your talents in the summer league, for you to go 7 for 18, it's a little bit overkill for me. I think that for you to only have 1 assist and for you to only have like 1 rebound, I mean, he did get 3 blocks. I think he got 3 blocks. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know. And then he got 5 personal fouls. Like, it seemed like he was trying to show that he's ready for the NBA. But what he showed me was that if he can get with the right coach, if he can get with the right camp who's going to, continue to bolster his maturity and get his maturity where it needs to be, he's going to be okay. The one person that really shined through and through yesterday was Paulo. Paulo, he was 5 for 12 from the field. I'm okay with that. He was 2 for 3 from the three-point line. I was okay with that. He didn't miss a single free throw. He had 4 rebounds. All of them were defensive rebounds, for good measure. He had 6 assists and he had a steal. And I believe he had 6 fouls. He didn't foul out because it was, summer league. You get like 10 fouls or something like that. But it showed that he really, 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 he was trying to be active. And when he wanted to be active, you could see him putting his thumbprint on that game. So I definitely appreciate that. Of course, y'all know me. I really don't take much into summer league or anything like that. But just based on what I have seen so far with his body of work, transitioning, over to the NBA side, I think that when the NBA season starts, I think Paulo and Jabari are going to hit their rookie wall like very, very hard in the first 2 months. And then you're going to see that progression. And I think that Chet, and Keegan Murray, I don't think that they're going to hit their rookie wall till later in the NBA season. So we'll see what happens, because what I've noticed is when rookies hit their NBA wall early, you get a lot of people saying that they're a bust, they're not good, they're not this, they're not that, and then they come back and they bounce back from that, and they really fit into the mold of whatever their team is trying to do. When those rookies hit their rookie wall a little bit later, um, they tend to be the outlier of the team. So I think that Chet, being that he'll be able to have as many shots as he wants to have with OKC, and OKC isn't really projected to do anything, I think once he finally hits his rookie wall, I think he turns into that 25 and 12 player that everybody thinks that they're going to see. And by 12, I mean assists, not rebounds. I can totally see him getting 12 assists a night with the OKC Thunder. That's just how good his passing is, and that's the one thing that I like about Chet's game is his passing. Like, everything else is cool, but I think his passing is going to be something like generational when he finally gets the weight that he needs to be in about 2 or 3 years. But I'm rapping. I really enjoyed the game last night. If you're a Rockets fan, you're happy at what you saw. If you're an Orlando Magic fan, I don't know why you're still an Orlando Magic fan, but I guess you're happy with what you saw, and we can move on. Thanks, guys.
Paulo Banchero is not 6'10". He's not 6'9". He's like 6'8". If you
He's
want,
literally 6'10", bro.
he is not.
Chris,
Literally
why you always
6'10",
hating,
bro.
No, look
Hating.
at him stand next to Jabari
Bro.
and then tell me he's 6'10".
Bro, he's 6'10". Trust me, he's 6'10".
Yeah, get a haircut.
Also, I just want you guys to know, everybody and the listeners, I just need y'all to understand, Chris loves pineapples on his pizza.
That is
He is
know.
a villain.
We know.
He is a villain. This is sick. We need to get help for him.
We know.
The only reason
See, the issue with food, YC, is like the only people who are going to be in your camp are the people that I've already beaten down with food takes because they're wrong, like Anthony. Pineapples do not belong on pizza. And I can actually tell you why. They have an enzyme that, once combined with the fat that melts with your cheese and the acidity of the tomato sauce, that ruins the balance of pizza. I can't do that. In good conscience, it is the worst topping you can put on your pizza. Pineapples do not belong on pizza. And if you're one of those unfortunate souls who believe that pineapples do belong on pizza, I'll get people to pray for you. Like, I really will, because we need you to have good pizza.
Listen,
Stop
somebody in my
praying for
somebody
me.
in my
Stop
face
praying
dead
for
ass
me.
last night put pineapples on their burger. I swear to God.
See, like, no,
what the
nah,
fuck?
like,
Oh no, that's fine. I've done that before.
I ain't
y'all
gonna say no.
argue
I ain't
with a
gonna say
man
no
that
race.
doesn't like grits.
I'm
You
not saying
wasting your
no.
time.
I'm not gonna say no race. I'm not gonna
you
say.
are over here wasting good pineapples by putting
Wait
it on.
a minute. Have you ever tasted it before you
Hell
start
no, I
Why
doing
the
ain't
it?
hell
doing
would
that.
I eat pineapple on pizza?
Again, but then, like my grandma used to say, you can't say nothing unless you try it.
No,
Sit
I'll
in the
come.
corner.
And
Well, that ain't my
5-second
grandma.
time
I'll
out.
call my grandma crazy as hell too.
I'm not like I don't like wasting money, and putting
It's good.
Why are
is
you
Good.
wasting a perfect tropical fruit and putting it on pizza?
You put it on your ham, okay?
I don't eat pork.
ham.
Well, that's what's wrong with you too,
Ham,
right there.
Bacon is not pork.
Turkey
ham,
bacon is the move.
ham should be abolished. It's the
Ham is good,
uh
especially.
JFK, hop up in here and let's go back to some basketball. And by the way, I am telling you, if Paulo Banchero got a haircut, he is a full inch shorter than Jabari Smith Jr. Just look at just watch the game.
And he gave him that work last night too. Yeah, but go ahead. Go ahead, Jeff. My bad. Go ahead.
What's up, JF?
What's going on, man? Good morning. I'm here at the doctor's office, so I got to speak kind of low. But let me just speak about last night, Memphis Grizzlies. Um, I didn't know David Roddy played basketball like that. I noticed it from way back when, like when he was in 247 Sports. He was a quarterback coming out of Minnesota, but it seems like his athleticism has transferred over good. Uh, Efficient shooting last night. And I'm just saying this to say that I think Pat Riley not picking up Jake LaRavia is a good sign that we had the better pick in Nikola Jovic, because he wasn't really doing that much, and the Memphis Grizzlies had to pick up two forwards. to go ahead and count for what Nikola Jovic can do. So I'm happy with that. But Paulo seems like he's gonna be all right. I'm not worried about him too much. The thing is, the true test will come when he plays the Heat in the season. Usually, if you're a baller on the Orlando Magic, your best game is usually Miami Heat. So we'll see when that time comes, and then I can go ahead and have my full analysis about him. But yeah,
Hey, yo, JFK can hear soft spoken like it's the quiet storm.
He can't.
nah, man.
He's at the doc.
My man at the Dodgers office on
Yeah.
who's space.
Me,
Dedication is
thought
real.
that soft
Hey,
shit.
bro, it's just a little doctor's visit for my girl, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a whole bunch of doctor's visits. So
Oh,
I'm
brother.
everything straight right now.
Brother.
You could
That's
be
a good man. That's a good man.
Yeah, we're gonna give him a point, ladies and gentlemen, for doing the right thing, being a dad, and give him a point for the dedication of popping in here in hoop spaces in the doctor's office. We will take away a point though by saying Paulo Banchero is just all right. He's
Yeah,
gonna.
I gotta wait till he plays Miami Heat, and then I can see what he does. Because Terrence
what?
Ross pops off with Miami
What?
Heat. No, you gotta understand. All right, when the Orlando Magic play the Heat, all right, usually we see somebody pop off. Terrence Ross dropped 31 on us, and it was crazy. It's a crazy game. I don't know where they come from. A lot of their players just suddenly do good when they play against the Heat. So we'll
Who's
see when
stopping
that
him with
evaluation
on
He
that
comes
doesn't
out.
know
summer league
where they
roster?
come from. They come from Orlando.
Hold on. Who's stopping the summer league roster? Who?
Huh?
Saban Lee took like 14 shots last night. Did y'all know that?
Who?
Exactly.
That's Nick Saban's son.
No.
Hey, whoa.
Hey,
I hear some
hey.
Pistons talking here. Look, he stinks. I get it. But Jaden Ivey was really fun. Really fun last night. I love
26 and
it.
6. Yep.
Love
Yeah,
Jaden Ivey.
look at
Shouts
the
to
Indios, though.
shouts to the New York Knicks for giving up literally nothing for us to get Jalen Duren as well. Congrats, enjoy Jalen Brunson. Enjoy that. But yeah, shout out to the Knicks.
Wait, are we not a fan of Jalen Brunson now?
I'm not moved.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay. You're gonna get moved. Don't worry about it.
It takes a lot to move me, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, at least you got the more the frozen.
Need a bulldozer.
I'm still trying to figure out like where these Pistons fans coming from because they've been dormant for like.
They're coming from Dearborn, Chris.
Buddy, I have been loud and proud about my Detroit Pistons for years.
Hey,
Yeah.
Can I say this? Just Jalen Duren remind
Black
me
people
of
do
young
live in
Dwight Howard.
Dearborn, 808. Thank you.
Nobody believes you. Like loud and
nobody believes you.
Loud, sure. Proud, I don't know, man. Detroit's been down for a minute.
Hey man, I have been proud ever since we got Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren out of this draft.
So yeah, like for what, 2 weeks? Come on, boo this guy. Boo.
Wait, hold on, Chris. The Pistons were actually a pretty good bad team last year, and I think they're going.
We're gonna be fun this year, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna be fun bad. We're still gonna be bad. Better
They
believe
still
it.
make the playoffs, right? Yeah.
Oh no, we're gonna be bad.
I'm not
I don't
gonna
want
lie.
the playoffs.
The Pistons might be better than the Hornets next season.
Wow, that's a hot take.
No, I really see the Pistons fighting for a playing seed. I'm not
Hornets
joking.
falling apart, man. Like, well, I don't even want to talk about the Hornets right now. It's the
Hey, yo, does Melo stay throughout the rookie extension?
Hey, when we get Victor Wembanyama in the next draft too, watch it,
You
buddy. Watch out.
You aren't getting Victor. Stop it.
Who?
The NBA is not letting Pop pass that up.
Like seriously, people don't understand. Like there are 4 teams who are gonna have a chance. It's either San Antonio, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, or Oklahoma City.
And then guess what, y'all? Scott Henderson is gonna be better than him.
Yo, if Oklahoma City has
Scotty
Chet
Henderson,
Holmgren, Josh Giddey,
Scoot is so tough, bruh. Scoot is so good, man.
Hey, yo, what the hell is Sam Presti doing? Does anybody know?
Hey, when Sam Presti gets to pair Chet and Victor on the same basketball team,
I can tell you exactly what Sam Presti is doing because I've said it since we started Hoop Spaces 1 year and 2 days ago. The job of a general manager is to create an environment where your team can continually contend, right? That's the overall goal. The steps to get there is building a culture and an asset management system that will allow a small market team to do this competitively by basically monopolizing capital, in this instance, draft picks. That is what he's been doing. It's what Sam Hinkie started in Philadelphia. It's one reason why a lot of people keep saying process. And I'm like, yo, the process died the moment they fired him. We will never see what the process was. So, there's that. I want to give a shout out to Keon Johnson. He was the first round pick of the Clippers. He was traded to the Portland Trailblazers for the Clippers to get Norm Powell. He had 21 points. And I think he's an interesting prospect to watch for Portland. With Simons and Dame there, they have Josh Hart there, but they need an offensive guard off the bench. And I think Keon Johnson might get a shot with Shaedon Sharpe being injured. All right, I want to get Shiecko in here, a diehard Mavs fan and a lover of coleslaw because coleslaw is elite. And also somebody who shares an understanding, as I do, hash browns suck. Like, they're just not good. You're paying for a whole bunch of soft potatoes with like crunchy burnt edges, doused in cheese, salt, and whatever have you to hide just the mediocrity.
First of all, who puts cheese on hash browns? That's one.
Chick-fil-A hash browns?
You've never been to Waffle House and seen covered and smothered, my brother?
No, I haven't.
All right,
Waffle House is 4:00 in the morning.
You missing out because you'll see a whole bunch of mid shredded potatoes covered with nasty ass cheese.
Chris, this is why you make it at home.
Bro, the worst thing about that cheese too, all they do, Chris, is literally stick Kraft singles and then throw that shit in the microwave. And
at 4:00 in the morning when you're drunk, it don't matter.
Wow, Shiecko's got a great ventriloquist set going on here. I heard 4 different voices, man. Holy monkeys, what's up?
Good morning. How y'all doing, man? Just wanted to say, hash browns, pancakes, whatever it is. Can we all just agree that breakfast is pretty much the most overrated meal of the day? That's one. Thank you. All right, so I did watch some games last night. Did y'all know that, what's the guy's name from Utah? Jared Butler shot 15 threes last night. That shit is crazy. He made 4 of them. Paulo is definitely like 6'7", 6'8". Standing on the side of Jabari, he was pretty short. The high top fade gives him an extra like 3-inch boost, but he does have a mellow type kind of move set, so I like that. I also want to give props to, what's his name? Caleb Houston. He played really, really good last night. Very smooth jump shot. He made the right reads, made the right cuts. Those were good. So, yeah. And then Jaden Ivey, man, he's going to be special. That boy, I don't know. Like, he's good. He's really good. And also, coleslaw very much is elite. I think what you need to do is try some Caribbean coleslaw because the stuff that y'all get on top of pulled pork sandwiches is not real coleslaw.
I don't eat pork, sir. Sorry.
He's just trying to help you out, man. That Caribbean slaw is fire.
Oh, I know. Caribbean my damn self. I already know, sir.
It's different though, Chris. That's real slaw.
Look.
Hey, who was that just shouting out Jaden Ivey, the future of the Detroit Pistons?
Whoa, he's going to throw Kane Cunningham like that? Whoa.
Oh, Kane and him.
Like, right? Yo, wow. We're going to do that this early in the morning. Somebody needs to get me.
Please respect Killian Hayes.
No, Killian Hayes could get respected all the way back to France.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that. Did y'all hear me say that some dude named Jared Butler shot 15 3-pointers last night and only made 4 of them? Like, it was ugly. It was so stinking ugly. But today is the Jaden Harden day. Jaden Hardy, Dallas Mavs. Let's see if he has a lot of expectations on his shoulders due to the loss of Jalen Brunson. But boy, I'm going to tell you right now.
Hey, do you know where Jaden Hardy is from?
I do not.
The Mitten.
The Mitten.
Yeah, Luka ain't gonna give
that shit weak.
Yo, I've never heard anybody rap.
Hey, they gonna do Jaden Hardy.
I've never heard that before.
They gonna do Jaden Hardy like they did Dennis Smith Jr. Watch.
Yeah, like, and my family is, my mom's side is from Michigan. I used to go there for summers all the time. I ain't never heard that. That is wild to kill.
Nobody's heard of us being called the Mitten. That's That's a lie.
No, I've never heard of it.
That's a
I'm
lie.
from Detroit, West Side. No.
You're not
I
from
just talked to the
Detroit.
minute.
She's from
West Side.
Detroit.
Tireman, Grand
Do
River
it.
area, Livernois, Holla. You know, Grand River, 96, 94 is where I'm from. I'm from Detroit, for real.
Save yourself, Akhil.
First of all, we still
you
call
don't
it
walk
the
that. I promise you, brother.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Shout
Chris,
out the men.
Chris, one more thing. Congratulations on a full year of Hoop Spaces. You know, it's a growing community, and you did really well on Brother from Another. I thought you should have had a bigger slot.
Oh, well, thanks, but like more famous people were there. I'm a nobody. I'm happy being a nobody. I appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate the support and positive words. Mark Spears was there, and if Mark Spears is going to show up, you're going to give Mark Spears, as much time as he can give you.
Yeah,
Give
but I don't
yourself
know
the
Mark
horn,
Spears.
Chris. Give yourself the horn because that's blasphemy. I'm not going to take you talking about yourself like that. Give yourself the horn now. Thank you.
What? What are you talking? Like I am no.
You heard the woman. Give yourself the horn, bro.
Man, I'm good. What's up, Jose? I don't think I deserve the horn for that.
Yeah, you want to come on Inside the NBA?
What's up, man?
You want to come on Inside the NBA?
Sure.
All right, set some shit up, hopefully.
That's what's up. Jose's been patient, but he's up here, and I'm going to give Shiecko fair warning because he's up here directly to challenge us in our take on hash browns. Like, I don't think he understands how wrong he is, but let me give you an example of how wrong he is. He sent me a picture of lettuce and mayo. Joke's on you, Jose. That ain't coleslaw. That's a burger topping.
That is coleslaw. That's how mid it is, bro. Like lettuce and mayo. That's what I see all the time when I look up coleslaw on the
Well,
internet.
then you have a funny way of spelling and saying cabbage.
Idol's meal. Anyways, good morning, everybody. Jaden Hardy takes the court today. I can't wait to see Ron Harper Jr. as well because that's somebody that I low key wanted on the Mavs summer league team as well. But anyways, I really like what OKC got. Like I'm starting to see Sam Presti's vision in terms of like ball handlers, like multiple ball handlers and multiple guys who could do more than one thing. And like the Toronto Raptors have built that too. And it's just gonna be interesting to see like the league just shift into like what Chris was saying yesterday, guys who have more skill than just one thing that are just labeled a so-called specialist. So I'm very excited for the future of the NBA. And man, like I gotta give my divisional rivals some props. Like the Grizzlies, they just have a real tough talent pool. And I feel like some Mavs fans who aren't like keeping up with some of these other rosters, they're not really assessing like what the Mavs will have to challenge in a year or so. Like if Memphis is able to get Kenny Lofton Jr. and be able to utilize him as another piece, like that Memphis team is just extremely deep and that worries me going forward. But anyways, I wanted to ask 808 some questions about his Chicago Bulls summer league team because, like, obviously I'm gonna be watching Jaden Hardy, Moses Wright, Lakeith, and I forgot Lawson. But 808, can you give me a few Chicago players I need to be looking at during this matchup? Chris, give him the horn. Give him the horn.
Damn.
Hey, Jose, I'll help you out. Nobody. Yeah.
Who is on the Chicago Bulls summer league team, bro?
Nobody. Pretend on that team.
But I would also like to say, like, man, I hate that the Jalen Brunson shit hasn't been resolved yet. Like the sign and trade and the $14 million trade exception if the Mavs were to work out a sign and trade with the Knicks. Like I just want that saga to be over with. Like I'm ready for just to solely focus on the summer league, then Luca playing in Eurobasket, and then transitioning into training camp and all that good stuff. But I appreciate you, Chris, and I can't wait to listen to KP reviews on Sunday as we recap the boys' season finale. It's gonna be going down, man. I'm ready for it.
Just to let y'all know, there's a thunderstorm that decided to pull up at my house, and we just lost power. So if I cut out, that's probably why. Somebody asked who's on the Bulls Summer League team. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Perion Calendre, Henry Drell, Javon Freeman Liberty, Akolda Gack, Malcolm Hill, Carlick Jones, Justin Lewis, Maker, Marco Simonovic, Dalen Terry, Ethan Thompson, Sindarius Thornwell, and Justin Wright Foreman.
I know Sindarius doing well for South Carolina. I know that.
Yeah, I know ST. I know Makur Maker. I know Marco Simonovic. I know
Carlick went to Ohio State, right? I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did. I don't remember enough of it.
Dalen Terry is tough, though. I do like Dalen Terry a lot.
Well, he was
Carlick Jones had a really nice run with the Mavericks as a two-way contract too.
So that's the Mavs Summer League. That's something. Dip, pop up in here, man. What you got?
Oh yeah, the summer league thing. Everybody remember like when Kevin Knox looked like a
world
star summer league.
Yeah, he was a world beater in summer league. Knicks fans beat their chest.
So ever since then, I just look at it with a grain of salt. I can't take it. And also Trae Young looked like the bum. So like, and then last year Jalen Suggs looked great in summer league. Though I still think he's going to be good, but I don't look at it as predictive. It's just Summer League for what it was. Summer League All-Stars, Summer League Superstars. And it's fun to watch. People get to play a different role than they're going to play when the season actually starts.
Yeah, the second year Summer League player is the one that's more likely indicative, right? If you see a player there for the second year, and that's usually the showcase player, like just talk about Utah. Somebody brought up Jared Butler, Shiecko did, because he took 15 threes. Like that's what you use as your predictive model. Like all the rookie players, you're just throwing them out there to get them acclimated, start working your culture, your offensive sets, your defensive sets. But it's the second year player, like Zaire Williams, taking command of the Memphis Grizzlies for minutes at a time is like great for Memphis, because that says, hey, this kid is ready, to take that next step on the big team, on the big level. And Jared Butler might be in line to get more minutes as the 6th or 7th man in Utah. That's why they're giving run. Josh Christopher, the Rockets are weird. They have a lot of redundant pieces, so I really think that they might be showcasing so they can put together a package and maybe make another trade. But yeah, don't ever take Summer League too seriously. Just have fun with it. 808s, what's up?
Chris, it's going to be a hard day for me today because the Dallas Mavericks play today, but you know who they play?
The Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, so I'm going to watch Jaden Hardy play elite basketball. I'm going to watch Dalen Terry lock him up. It's going to be a really good day for me,
Who the hell is Dalen Terry?
Oh, wait, hold on, Chris. Before you say anything, they said the same thing about Ayo, did they not?
Who?
They did. People didn't like Ayo. I liked Ayo. I just didn't. I didn't think he was, as great as everybody who thought he was great. But he did really good.
Hey, Anthony, he's the guy that made second team All Rookie. That guy.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about bullshit.
Dalen Terry's gonna. He's got a really funky game. He also threw out the first pitch for the White Sox.
Who doesn't throw out the first pitch for the White Sox? I mean, they have anybody do that now.
It's more relevant, but yeah.
He definitely picked the right sport to play. Let me just put it that way.
I mean, look at everybody. He could look at the same thing about Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. He looked at baseball and was like, nope.
Yeah, people used to choose baseball because it was bigger contracts and guaranteed money. Now it doesn't matter. Also tonight, and if you want to know the full schedule, I'll just give it to you now. On ESPNU, the Dallas Mavericks versus Chicago Bulls, 4 p.m. San Antonio and Cleveland do battle at 5 p.m. on ESPN3. Charlotte and Indiana, ESPN2 at 6 p.m. Brooklyn and Milwaukee, ESPN3 at 7 p.m. Golden State and New York, 8 p.m. on ESPN2. ESPN3 at 9 p.m., Denver and Minnesota. And then we'll close out the night with the Phoenix Suns and Los Angeles Lakers at 10 p.m. on ESPN2. And I tell you, ESPN is getting their money's worth out of this contract deal because they got every Summer League game this year. So props to ESPN. You don't get that a lot from me, but great job. Keep it up. And then it'll be funny when we see you pay 3 times more in 2 years when the TV deal is redone. All right, yeah.
What the hell is that?
Thunder.
Have we talked about how good Chet Holmgren is yet?
You missed the show, Akhil.
No, but
go back on YouTube and check it out. Hit the subscribe button while you're there. It was a great show.
Chris, you know why?
I overhyped him, and then Kenny Lofton came and was yeah.
I am here for Kenny Lofton.
Kenny Lofton is he is so strong. Strong.
Like England Davis. There you go.
I mean, they found the Memphis Grizzlies really found their younger, more athletic Zebo. That's all they did.
All right, we've got also news out of Memphis. John Conchar for Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne, the Mastodons, ladies and gentlemen, $19 million 3-year extension. So shout out and congratulations to that young man. That's a road. Y'all, if y'all ain't clapping, y'all ain't human. The dude went to Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne. Man, tough crowd. Y'all just hating on him. Bunch of haters. JF, what you got?
Yeah, I just wanted to say about Kenny Lofton, man. When I heard y'all boys talking about Kenny Lofton, I thought you were talking about the J. Cole song off of Truly Yours. But then I have to go back and really look at it. God damn, this guy's a defensive tackle. He's a nose guard. This is basically Warren Sapp.
He is 6'6", 280, and we are here for it. You got to. He has this great turnaround post fadeaway that he actually goes in at full speed and stops and twists on a dime. And I always think his ankle's gonna snap, and then he just hits this Dirk-like one-legged fadeaway.
Well, Chris, I just want to say, my bad, Chris. I just want to say, shouts out Kenny Lofton. He reminds me of a tractor trailer or a Cadillac from N1. Shouts out to the big boys that can ball.
His body control, as Chris was type, his body control for his size is
he's better than those guys, man. He's
truly,
yeah, he is.
And his hands too, man. He catches everything. I remember watching him this past summer with the USA when they were doing all that stuff, and we were talking about Victor Wembanyama earlier. That dude is really special, but Kenny was putting him under the rim, and he was just finishing.
Hey, Chris,
it was crazy.
I'll say this: if his basketball career doesn't work out, he will be one hell of a defensive lineman, and I promise you, he'd probably go down as one of the best ones. It's just size and the speed is there.
I wasn't even listening. Y'all talk about Kenny Lofton?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like me in high school, bro.
Chill out.
I had 150 pounds.
He has every chance to be Larry Johnson without the dunks.
Nah, but for real though,
it could be Larry Sanders, without the problems.
Nah, for real, JLK. His one big bumper though, he got that shit for me though, because that was my go-to move back in the days.
Oh, jeez, Anthony.
Al Harrington.
Get those shots up, Anthony.
You see how old Anthony is? He said Al Harrington was his goal.
No, chill out.
Al Harrington. Bro.
Al Houston.
What do you got against Al Harrington, man? He's good.
Oh, nothing. Al Harrington is one of the greatest businessmen that I know. I mean, you can talk about, a lot of the stuff he does, I really agree with. He's coaching now, by the way, if you didn't know. You remember when Amari Stoudemire was with the Knicks, and then Carmelo came back from injury, and they were actually better without Carmelo?
Let's not talk about that, please.
Wait, you remember that too?
I was waiting for Anthony to respond, and like he don't want to talk about it. Like, all right, Shiecko, what you got?
Yeah, just adding to the point where you say you don't take summer league too serious. I remember like 2009 or 8 when Dante Green went off for 40 points, and then I never heard from him ever again. Like, I don't know what happened. This is a Kenny Lofton Jr. Stan account. You know, this is about body positivity. So the big guys are up 1 point. So Chris, go ahead and give us a point.
Oh, jeez. apparently,
Shout out Thick King.
Shout out what?
The Thick Kings of the world, man. One Kenny Lofton. Come on, bro, Chris.
Listen, Chris, if you ain't 220, you can't get into the club, man.
Yeah, I don't think that came off the way you thought it came off, Akhil.
You know, I'm still standing by it, and I'm rocking with it, though. It is what it is.
We'll give you a point for doing that, because we're all about authenticity here. Speaking of authenticity, Reese Rebel's about to take...
Gave that man the sad horns.
Okay, so let me give you a quick story as we wait for Reese Rebel to pop up here, right? My son and I had this conversation yesterday, and he has a habit of emulating me, that all children do this with their parents. So I apologize to all of your daughters if they ever date my son. He finishes your sentences before you finish it, and he's generally right most times when he's finishing your sentences. But he's never right with me, because I do this on purpose to mess with them. And like Akhil just literally walked in there and full blast pulled a Vincent, and I got tears. I am crying right now because it really came off one way for me, and I think it came off a different way for everybody else. And
It really wasn't what y'all think it was, man. Listen, women talk about all the time how they like dudes and they don't feel like they're gonna roll over and they're gonna die. Listen, you're not, okay? You're not.
You're not.
I'm sturdy. You're not going nowhere.
Okay. Talk about it, 808s.
Domo is 6'2", 280. That man, he will pick up a fridge and throw it at you if he really wanted to.
Okay.
Hey, Chris, I got a poll question. Which body type would you rather have, Kenny Lofton or Chet Holmgren?
Nah, we ain't going there. We ain't going there.
What is the show today?
Yeah, we got Reese Rebel. That's Nat, host of So You Think You're a GM, the best game show that you're gonna have, time to actually partake in this year, coming up in the season. What do you got planned for us with that? I still have to look at the bench warmers write-up, which I'm going to do this weekend. And then we got a lot of basketball to talk, including your Boston Celtics. Nat, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Chris. The Thick King. 808, so you a Thick King?
I knew
Proud of it. What you mean?
Yes, sir. 808s. Talk your...
I kind of would not have had a problem with that if Akhil didn't say it, but it just came out so weird. And I've been listening to him for like 30 minutes straight, just dying laughing. Akhil, you are one funny person. I don't know if you like think about the shit you say, but that
I never do. I never do. Whatever comes to the top of the head is coming out of my mouth.
He's just like me, for real.
I know, and that's a problem. That's my point. So it's like we got to start thinking about what we're saying, because we're out here calling these men thick kings. I support it, but it just didn't come out the way I think you wanted it to. But shouts out to y'all and the thick kings. I love it. With that being said, Chris, you got to do your write up for bench warmers and everything, and let me know what you think so we can roll that out. So you think your GM will come back in a couple of months? Possibly August. I will let y'all know definitively. But one thing I am...
So next month?
Is it August, 808?
You said a couple months.
I said a couple. I said maybe August. Maybe August. Maybe.
That's 2 weeks.
It's not 2 weeks. It's not,
I love you that.
It's literally like 16 days. Like,
Don't entertain them. Don't entertain them, girl. Go ahead and keep going. Don't
stand these.
entertain
I
them.
can't stand these thick kings. This is ridiculous. But listen, like, listen, shut up. Why are y'all looking at the calendar like that deeply? Jesus Christ. Listen, all right. One thing I do definitely have coming up is I'm doing my podcast Under the Stairs, and I'm doing a true crime. That's what it's going to be based off of this time around. Movies that are based off of a real person, real crimes, or documentaries on, some stories that we all know of and, have been sweeping us for about 40 to 50 years. That's what we're going to talk about. That's what I'm going to bring out. So I'm looking for co-hosts for that. We're going to tap into, a lot of people, whether you talk about Ted Bundy, there's movies on him, and we're going to get to the psychological aspect of it, and start from childhood. So we're going to go back with these guys and even some women or whatever. And that's what I have coming up soon in the next couple of weeks. And I will post that between today and tomorrow. And just wanted to say that. And my Celtics are still better than y'all. Thanks.
Hey, Nat, when you do the episode about Jack the Ripper, hit my line. Best murderer of all time.
Jack the Ripper. Maybe Akhil, okay?
Best murderer of all time.
Jack the not the best of all time. And he was actually more likely a woman, not a man.
Oh, my God. Just saying the best murder of all time, like this is the NBA, is crazy to me. What's wrong with you, Akhil?
Didn't you know
Is
that?
Jason Tatum going to hit a mid-range jumper in the playoffs next season?
Well, he's working on it,
Somebody get Jaylen Brown some help, please. Can you do that?
Jaylen Brown needs to give himself some help and learn how to dribble.
Oh, well.
So he's Klay Thompson.
I've seen the podcast Under the Stairs artwork, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm telling you, you're in for a treat. I've heard her speak on horror movies back all the way on the Clubhouse days. She is by far the top in her field, in my opinion. There's some other people like they watch it, but they don't really they really don't have the ability to talk about it. They say the same thing over and over again, which is can't do that. I need someone who can drive a conversation and really get into the heart of the matter, and Nat does that with ease. So make sure you shoot her a follow, especially if you are into true crime and horror. What do you got coming up today for your summer league squad? It's actually, I think it's tomorrow. You guys debut.
Yeah, listen, Chris, I'm one of those people. I just don't care about summer league. I'm going to be very honest with you. Like, I'm listening to everyone. I'm like, oh my God, this person is the next Jordan. I'm like, please. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Like, people have not played one NBA minute, and we're just crowning everybody. Like, we're pumping up Paulo, right, that one game, and then when we said something good about Chet Holmgren, his first game, we were overblowing it, but we're not overblowing Paulo. So it's just I can't listen to it. I gotta see these guys for a whole damn season. I really think it's hard to sometimes evaluate guys until they've had a full 3 seasons in the league, honestly. The first year, they're gonna give you that raw talent. Nobody's really playing for them, so they're gonna give you what they got. Second year, they kind of stumble a little bit. And some guys improve, but usually that's the stumble. And the third year is when the guys that are really going to be here and make that leap and are really going to make a difference on teams. The third year is when they really do it, and you see who they're going to be. So we have just too much time to tell if these guys are just gonna pan out. There are some people that are intriguing to me, and Chet is one of them. I think he still has to gain some weight and some strength, but we'll see. But I like his skill set. And I think Paulo and Jabari, they are talented as well. But Jaden Ivey is somebody who I've been high on. But we got to see. We just got to give these guys an actual NBA minute before we start crowning everybody Jordan and Kobe.
Chris, she's a little bit afraid of tomorrow's game. She doesn't want to see Sam Hauser against Jokic. Come on now.
Someone who has he played an NBA minute?
Neither has Jovic, but you know you scared.
There you go, because I just don't care.
Well,
But
it kind of counts as a minute, bro.
Hey, JFK, I
it's
heard
not
you
an
call
NBA
Jovic
minute.
Jokic twice now,
Because
brother.
he's
Jovic.
hoping
No, I
that
said
he
Jovic.
has an actual big man that can actually score, unlike Bam, who is scared to score, but a very good defender. So he's hoping that he has a well-rounded big man, and he's praying because he knows he ain't getting no damn body else. I understand.
So
I get
Ain't
what
no
they
praying.
are.
I got Pat Riley, so
Bam,
that's where my trust lies.
You had him
But
last year.
right
Still
now,
lost.
Pat Riley is asleep.
He sure
The
is.
whole
You're not
NBA
doing
is asleep
push-ups?
because no, the whole NBA is asleep because of KD and Kyrie.
You're
All right,
not
we
better
still
than
made moves
last
and we picked up
year.
Caleb. We secure that.
You're not better than last year,
you
Jay.
saw
Damn, last year was pretty good. It was number one in the East. Holy crap!
I know, and
The
you
Celtics
lost.
actually. I'm interested in seeing this year in summer league against Juwan Bergeron out of Paris Basket. They drafted him in the second round last year.
Yeah.
19-year-old combo guard, 6'5", 7-foot wingspan. I really want to see what he's able to do. Jordan Bone from Tennessee, you might remember him, and Mfiondu Kamengale from Florida State. He's been moved around the league so many times. That is Dikembe Mutombo's blood relative. I want to see what he's able to do. Perhaps
Chris, you notes?
No.
Chris, I have a question, Chris.
Wait, this is just like off the brain?
Yeah.
Yes, 808s. He's actually smart, you know? Yeah.
Wait, hold on, man. Now listen, I've never insulted your intelligence.
I didn't insult your intelligence. I said he's actually smart. I said
sorry
Chris
that
is
you
smart.
Actually, no, you didn't insult my intelligence. You assumed I didn't have any.
roster because I didn't know who the hell was on their roster. Shit.
Oh my God! I just said he's
Hey,
actually
shit funny,
smart.
Danny. What you laughing for?
We are.
She didn't insult your intelligence. She talked about Chris. You thought
Hey,
interrupted her and
Malika,
let her
defend
have
me.
her thought.
He's being a Pisces,
not going to defend you on this. Like, you're just in the wrong.
808s is a
Oh, we
Pisces.
can tap Maliika in and she can get you straight too, honey. You don't want to start nothing now.
Listen, now to my intelligent brother Chris, before we were rudely interrupted, do you see any guys in this summer league, drafted this year? Do you think anyone is going to be a star? Do you think, like, is there a couple of guys that you're like, if he does this and, he develops, like, he can be a star?
Oh,
is there anybody?
No. I said this yesterday. There are so few instances of LeBron James, right? Like
Right.
Kobe Bryant he wasn't Kobe until the third year where you got 38 minutes a game, right? Like, nah. Will Chet be considered a star? Probably, right? He'll get the limelight more than I think Paulo Banchero will. More so because of what YC said. Paulo's probably going to hit that wall a little bit earlier. Or Chet won't because he's not going to be featured. And then he has a built-in advantage. He's 7 foot legit, right? Yeah. So he's going to have nights where he has 5-6 blocks, 5 assists, 10 boards, and 13 points. And people will point to that and say, star, star, star. Paulo's going to have some games where he's going to have 20 points, 7 boards, 7 assists, but he's going to end up going like 5 for 18 and 7 for 7 from the line. And people will say star, 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 but not yet. Not yet.
What is Chet's ceiling to you?
That's actually a really good question. I don't think there's been a player that could be equal offense and defense at 7 foot, right? Like if he were to develop perfectly, he would be Giannis with a jumper. Think about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
we're thinking the same. That's why I said he's the most intriguing person to me drafted this year, because if he does develop how he could, then he is definitely scary. So I agree.
And I like Paulo. The issue that I have with the NBA in this instance is it's a shrinking league. Like every year, these players that get drafted magically get shorter. And like I remember Robert Williams was drafted as a 7-footer.
That man
Y'all
is
might.
6'8".
Yeah, I remember. He's like 6'8" and 3.
Bro, he should have said, look, come on, let's not do this.
Anthony,
Let's not do
you must have been hurt when your real height came out.
Oh no, I was 6'4". I'm 6'4". Damn it.
All right.
I'm 6'4", with shoes and without shoes. Damn it.
I
All right,
really think that Jason
With
Tatum
shoes,
is
without
taller
shoes.
than Robert Williams.
He is. I see. Like, again, just look at the players standing next to each other. Cut off the hair.
How?
What do you mean? How? Look at the forehead down.
Because Tatum, I think, is actually 6'9", 6'10", and they're just not like putting it out there. I think they have him as a 6'7", 6'8". I really do think he's 6'10".
We're gonna go to Maliika.
They confirmed it on TV. Yeah, he's 6'10".
We're gonna go to Maliika Walker if she's ready. If not, we have somebody new up on stage. We would appreciate if you could shoot a follow, hot shot, and we'll get right to you after Maliika Walker, who last night with Edwin Garcia and Hoop Space's Ryan held a great panel discussion on I Am Magic, which is the documentary that's supposed to give his view and counter that of its winning time. Maliika, good morning.
Good morning. They call me Magic. I just wanted to point out, yeah, they call me Magic. We call, and I think we're on the same page. What they call me Magic was basically The Last Dance in 4 episodes, almost, where it's really like, Magic was the producer. So, you're going to get but so much, both sides of Magic. Even though they did give you some things, but I did like They Call Me Magic. But anyway, you were talking Summer League. I agree with Nat. With Summer League, I really don't care about Summer League, and there's always a player that stands out during Summer League and does their thing, and then where do you hear about them? Sometimes you don't hear from these players again after they break out. So I just watch it for what it is. It's basketball. Um, it'll be a week of a lot of basketball between a summer league. I am looking for a few players. I am going to check out Kai Jones, um, and I was going to really look at Shaden Sharp, but he got injured. So there are a few players I am looking to see. It was interesting that Isaiah Stewart was on the bench yesterday when he started a few years for Detroit. So I was like, why is he on the bench?
A lot of teams asked some of the third year players if they would essentially sit on the roster. Like this, it's not just Isaiah Stewart. There are other third year players that have done this as well.
And I know that coaches, like I've heard coaches like trying to, like the Utah coach trying to, see some of his plays on the floor with the young guys, like some of that going on, so you can have maybe some of the third years, seeing what they look like in some of those plays. It's just interesting. Also, when you ask coaches what their goals are, developing the players. Like some fans are watching for wins, but teams are really looking to develop. They may have other goals and not even looking at the win. So it's just ball that's on in the background while I work. It's not really something to hang your hat on. I mean, I'm waiting for the season. I mean,
That's
guys, just so I just like keeping it in perspective.
The Nets have a player that I'm actually looking forward to watching in summer league, and that's Noah Kirkland out of Harvard.
Yeah, I'm looking to see the Nets too. I'll be watching them and see who we're going to have on the Long Island Nets next year. So,
David Duke Jr. and Kessler Edwards and Dayron and Cam are there this year. So is there.
Kessler will be with the start. And David Duke will be with will probably be on rotation. But I will definitely, I'm checking out.
Yves Pons is on the roster too, and I was like, yo, if he made the team, like you would have to deal with Pod Thorne.
I want to see how my the Nets do. When it comes to summer league, all I'm saying is I keep it in perspective. I'll be watching a game. I'm recording the Nets game just so I can look at my guys, but I just keep it in perspective. Like preseason, I look at that a little more. And then when the season, and then I look at the season. But I just think with Summer League, keep it in perspective. They're not playing top talent, but they should do decent against the talent on the floor. But just don't, because if you start looking at these people like they're going to save the franchise or, they're going to be lifesavers, they could disappoint you on the outset. So let's just give them time and, give the Summer League, keep it in perspective. That's my only thing.
5. I'm giving you 5 points because you used perspective 5 times.
Sorry, I just feel like people, look like they look at people in this performance and it's like, like they judge how they're going to do in the season based
Oh
on
no, I
the game.
get it. I get it. No, but that's the beauty of it, right? Like the hope springs eternal, and Summer League kind of starts that new hope, right? Hot shot, first time, long time part of the community now. Thank you for the follow and welcome. What are your thoughts on Summer League or the WNBA?
First off, I gotta say hello, everybody, and then Nat, also congratulations on your Boston Celtics. Haven't been able to say that to you yet, but I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys? I'm a Timberwolves fan, so what do you guys think about Wendell Moore Jr. and also Josh Minot? I don't know if you guys know anything about them, but I just wanted to hear anybody's thoughts on them, if they did think that there will be decent players or good role players or what.
I like Wendell Moore as a shooter. That's what he's probably going to do. He'll probably actually stay around for a while too. I don't know. Like the problem with Minnesota is they had an opportunity to get Gobert, and getting Gobert kind of changed how they're shaping their summer league roster and their future plans, right? So like Trevor Keels and Wendell Moore might have actually gotten more minutes in a more developmental sense now because they gave up as many first round picks and players. They actually might get minutes at the pro level as opposed to the G League level because they're in a win now mode, but their contracts are going to actually be low enough where they can actually finagle maybe even another trade using Taurean Prince. So that's really all I'm looking forward to in terms of Trevor Keels or Wendell Moore is, are they going to make the big league roster to allow more cap flexibility to potentially get another trade? But if they were to keep them in the G League, I think they would look at, supplementing the roster next season. But Wendell Moore is more of the long-term viable prospect.
I think Wendell Moore would be a good utility guy for y'all. For me, he could do damn near everything on the damn court if you ask him to. So he'd be a utility guy.
He's a Duke fan. I'm not, so I'm trying. I'm trying to give you objectivity.
Because he's a good utility guy.
Yeah, he's over here. He'll tell you AJ Griffin should be in the run rookie of the year.
I ain't gonna say that.
I don't watch the summer league. Like I said, like I don't really put much. I watch it. I just don't put much stock into it. But I do like the Gobert move and what y'all did to get him. I think y'all swooped in and kind of just like, like, hey, we're gonna get Gobert, and it shocked a lot of us. So I'm like, I like that, And if Anthony Edwards takes that next step, then it makes that move all the more better, So I don't know. I think the Timberwolves are in really good shape. I know everybody likes to clown the Timberwolves because it's fun, but I actually like what y'all are doing. So nothing about the summer league, but I like the move.
Hey, I'm keeping it with you. That shit not moving me. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not going to move you when you're excited about Jalen Brunson, but you're not excited about Gobert. That's weird to me. But I mean, I get it. You're a Knicks fan. I get it.
That's facts. I think that's funny too that everybody is clowning us for the Gobert trade. I mean, we really, if you look at what we lost, we didn't really lose much. The best draft pick we've had was for the last I think since Cat basically was Anthony Edwards.
Well, that's my point.
So I don't. So no, sorry, you could go. But I don't think we really lost much. What people thought we we got like robbed. Which it's Danny Ainge. He's gonna get his. So
I
Well,
mean, this is the thing though. Like, I think people overvalue draft picks, and it's so annoying because I'm like, I think that they looked at it like, am I going to draft somebody as good as Anthony Edwards with any of those draft picks that I gave up? And the probability of that, no, you're not. Like it's just how it goes. So it's like I think that people look at the picks, they're valuable, yes, but I'm also coming from a team that watched a man hoard a bunch of draft picks, 20 something draft picks, and maybe three of them panned out. So it's like, and if he would have gotten rid of some of those picks and packaged them up with someone else, we could have had a better roster more consistently. So I look at those picks and I'm like, people are just going crazy, over picks, and I'm just like, it's okay. You have Anthony Edwards. That was your guy. That's the gold right there. That's the guy that is going to take that next leap and has an opportunity to be a top 5 talent. So you'll be fine. I just think people just overthink sometimes.
I also
I got
feel
a
like
poll in your honor. I have a poll in your honor. Who has the better season, the Lakers or the Timberwolves? If you could vote and retweet everybody, we'd love to get your opinion, and I want to hear what Hotshot thinks. We'll give him time to get his take in there as well. And if you also look up there, somebody literally sent me a picture of the breakfast they ordered and said they got hash browns despite me. Shout out, Chris. Appreciate you. Here's your point. Hotshot, go ahead and give your take and answer the question: who has the better season, the Lakers or the Timberwolves?
So my point, I just think that everybody came at D'Lo in the beginning of the last season. I think D'Lo was, I think, carrying us a little bit. If you don't watch the Timberwolves, you won't probably see that, but just on what he was doing on the court, like just kind of getting guys going and stuff. But I think like D'Lo's All-Star year, if we go back to it, Jared Allen was the center, and Rudy Gobert is a better Jared Allen. So I just think if you want D'Lo to be successful, getting the best pick and roll big that you can get, I mean, I think that the dude's going to have an all-star year, and then that's just going to open everything up on the floor. It's going to make it easier on Ant. It's going to make it easier on Carl. And then you got Jaden McDaniels, which, I mean, from my understanding, from everything that I've heard from beat writers and stuff, the Timberwolves have been getting so many calls about Jaden McDaniels, and, like, tons of teams want him. I think the kid's going to be a great defensive player, and he's only going to get better with Rudy. So I don't know. I think this move just made sense. We needed rim protection, and we needed a pick and roll, a dude that can set screens and work in the pick and roll, and that's what we got. We got the best one to ever do it, in my opinion. And to the question about the Lakers and the Timberwolves, I think we're way better. I think we'll be way better. I mean, if it's the current roster they have right now, I mean, if they make a move, I could totally understand it. Maybe they'll get a little bit better, but I don't know. Like, that team is just not very good right now. And to any Lakers fans that are hardcore, yeah, you guys probably see that it's going to be a good team, or it was a fluke last year, but that team is just bad, with all due respect.
Yeah, no problem. You don't need to, I mean, you don't have to worry about it. Nobody's going to jump on you here.
I mean, I've gotten shit on for being a Timberwolves fan for years, so I'm going to shit on a team when they're bad. I'm just kidding, no. But yeah, I just don't think the Lakers are that good.
Yeah,
I think the Clippers, the Clippers, though, I want to say, the Clippers are going to be nasty this year if they're healthy.
Yeah, I'm big on the Clippers if they're healthy. And it's not even Kawhi Leonard. Like, Kawhi can play 40 games.
I think they have the best role players in the game. I mean, Luke Kennard, Rocco, Paulo, like those are like some. I mean, Zubac. I mean, you can name like all their role players are like dudes that could start on teams. I mean, obviously Zubac starts and Paulo and Rocco will start, but like Luke Kennard coming off the bench probably, and then Reggie Jackson with John Wall. I mean, I think they got a good team, man.
So a video popped up of Jalen Rose interviewing some draft prospects, and I'm like, bro, your hair, like, oh my god. Anyway, back to basketball. We'll go to 808. Your thoughts on Maliika Walker after him?
Yeah, Chris, I feel the same way when it comes to draft picks. Okay, you traded 4 draft picks, but you looked at players they traded to get Rudy Gobert. And, like, respect to them, but they're not Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverly, Leandro Bellarmo, and Walker Kessler. Like, I'm sorry, you're getting Rudy Gobert back. And you can say the same thing when people were, like, basically just shitting on the Bulls for trading away 2 first-round picks, getting back Nikola Vucevic. It's like they did that for a reason. Keep Levine long-term. You get Lonzo, you get DeMar, you get Caruso in the same offseason. They don't play that many games together, but while they are healthy, they're one of the best teams in the league. And you're mad that they don't go back out and do more the following offseason? Like, have you not seen the 2023 free agent list? Like, you got to think forward. That's what these front offices, they're not thinking season by season. They're thinking literally 3-4 years down the line.
Speaking of 3-4
sorry. I was going to say, I agree with 808 completely. Like, I think, especially with the Bulls of late and then, like, the Timberwolves, we're in, like, our fan bases are in a situation where it's, like, win now. Like, we got to start actually, like, doing and we got to look at what puts us in the best position to actually compete for a championship. And that move put us in the best position. And I think last year, I think the move with the Bulls, if they would have stayed healthy, would have put them in the best position to win a championship. So I think that as much as the national media can hate on people, I mean, the national media has hated on Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert for their whole careers. So, I mean, it's going to just be fun to see if they can show up and play good. But
Hey, Chris, you know who the Bulls drafted the last 10 years besides Jimmy Butler?
What, draft?
Denzel Valentine.
Listen, Marquise Teague, 2012. Tony Snell, 2013. Cameron Barstow, 2014. They traded away. No, that's a little bit farther away. They traded away Gary Harris and Yusuf Nurkic, Bobby Portis, Denzel Valentine, Paul Zipser, Justin Patton, Jordan Bell, Wendell Carter, Kobe White, Patrick Williams. They traded away Jimmy Butler to get the Larry Markkinen. That worked out. So, like, what are all these players doing? Half of them not even in the NBA or not even on the Bulls right now. So, why do you want to keep hoarding draft picks?
Because
for what?
It's turned into cash. That's the issue.
But that's the thing, though. What's the draft picks if you don't have a competent front office making the selections?
Well, no, it's not necessarily they're drafting the players. It's currency. It's like that's all it is. It's another form of currency. Like again, Sam Presti following Sam Hinkie view draft picks completely different than everybody who's ever done basketball. They don't view it as a player. They don't view it as anything other than another form of cryptocurrency, right? That is highly volatile depending upon where you are in a specific time and place. However, because there is no direct utility attached to it, the value can be made amorphous and ambiguous, where you can actually then say, hey, the combined value of these draft picks outweigh the value of production a player makes. Like, that's how these trades are being viewed now. And that's why you see all these swaps, because now swapping a pick is what used to be trading a pick. Yeah. Like, it's real cool and interesting if you're a nerd.
And I agree that, like, that's the way the league is going now. But you can't do that in certain cities or certain places. You can pull that off in Chicago, New York, Miami, LA. Like, you can't do that in cities where, winning and competitive basketball is like second nature.
Well, you can, because the Knicks are doing it now. Like,
the Knicks aren't a basketball team; they're an entertainment franchise.
If you look at what Leon Rose has done, they are doing the same thing. Like, people made fun of him for trading, Jalen Duren for nothing. But, like, what they did was actually get future-weighted capital and then allow and clear space for the current young players they have on their roster while getting allegedly enough cap space for Jalen Brunson, but we saw how that worked out. So there's still an element of Knickish stuff going on. I want to give a non-basketball take here, give you guys a quick aperitif. Here are the teams who are not as good as the Baltimore Orioles, who are only 4 games out of 500. The Chicago White Sox, the Detroit Tigers, the Kansas City Royals, Texas Rangers, Los Angeles Angels, and the Oakland Athletics. The Miami Marlins, the Washington Nationals, the Pittsburgh Pirates, Chicago Cubs, Cincinnati Reds, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Colorado Rockies. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a decade since I could say that, hey, we can watch the Orioles play baseball again. I watched.
Hey, who the best team in baseball though right now?
Either team in New York.
I don't care. You know why? We're 4 games out from 500.
Well, listen, Chris, I'm sorry you haven't won a championship since I don't know. Actually,
And you're like 18 games down in first place. Thank you.
Nobody cares. No one cares about the Yankees except people in New York.
And if I'm gonna really have to defend the White Sox as a Cubs fan, the reason why the White Sox suck is because once again, Jerry Reinsdorf decided to be a smart guy and correct a quote unquote mistake from 40 years ago.
All right, I just had to get that in there. You know, it's not every day I can say the.
Why the hell does Tony La Russa have a job? He literally almost killed someone.
He needs to be in an old people's home. And then Protein P is a Detroit Tigers fan, and they suck. I gotta say that because I'm a Minnesota Twins fan, and we've steamrolled them every time this year.
Brother, you gave my man all that money, and y'all barely competing.
See, like I did, like I did. Maybe I didn't explain that correctly, but hey, I'm glad you carried it on. We're back to basketball. I just wanted to talk about the Orioles, and like y'all took this door that I opened.
Chris, you mad?
Baseball
was my first love. What you talking about?
No, it's like I'm trying to say, like, have all of you people who are fans of teams that are downtrodden and bad, you can now look to the Baltimore Orioles and say, we too can still suck but be near 500 because we have a organization that cheats and outspends everybody. There's no shame in
I'm never looking towards Baltimore for anything.
Hold on, Chris.
The best crab cakes in the world.
I see Kosuke Fukudome and Carlos Marmol. Chris, you don't know pain.
The best crab cakes in the world, sir.
Well, shout out some people down below. Shout out Darling Nikki and all the Oakland Athletics fans. Shout out Connor. Hey, the Batman burner account is in the building, and if y'all want somebody who's locked in to the gaming world, Connor is your guy. Like literally every day, you will learn something. Well, either he ate too much chicken for breakfast, or he did an extra superset. But you'll be entertained as well. Also, shout out the Optimistic Pels fan. We're getting another open mic spaces getting ready to come live to you, and we ask you, hey, you have a talent. Why don't you come here and share it with open mic spaces with Optimistic Pels fan? Like, try that out. Warren from day one is in the building, all the way back on Clubhouse, and so is the pickup card game, ladies and gentlemen, that you can find over at slamgoods.com. He is in Chicago for the W All-Star game. We have a question. Who is in the Chi for the W All-Star game? Let us know. Please retweet. What we're trying to do is show that the community is also mobile, right? That we have people who will be in the key events that we can hang out with and, have a good time, meet people in person. All right. Thank you, everybody. JF, you'll go right after Maliika. Maliika, thank you for your patience. Shout out to those right up top. Protein P was giving a shout out. I see Kent, Just the Clam in the Mud Flap, TJ, and TJ. That is TJ Kiesel. Great content for budget. Great content for shoes and fashion and positive thinking and motivation. And then the other TJ, he's here. It's all good. Maliika, how you doing?
Hi, thank you. I wanted to ask Nat, like when you look at Sam Presti, right, and how he accumulated and uses his draft picks, and this is for really anyone who's up here. How do you feel about how Sam Presti is using those draft picks, or him as a GM in general, and how he's building this Oklahoma City Thunder team?
I mean, how he uses it is exactly how Chris said. He's very smart with what he does. I mean, look at what he's drafted, in the past. Well, OKC in general, what they've drafted, in the past 15 years, and then what they've drafted now. Look at their team. Quite clear what they're doing. They want multiple guys that can do multiple things, on the floor at all times. Guys with, high IQ, with ball handling, that can shoot, that can like play make. That's just what OKC is doing. That's what Sam Presti is building. So he has these draft picks. He has all the leverage because there are going to be teams that are going to want some of the players that he has, and that's always going to be a thing. So he can package somebody up and still not lose much, and get a really good player back. So I love what he does. I always thought he was really good at what he does. That draft picks is something he's good at. Holding on to the talent and making sure that he builds from there when he does have a contending team is a different story. But the draft picks, I think he does well.
Yeah, I was curious of Nat's perspective on that after what she said about the Celtics. But yeah, Sam Presti may have a good young team on his hands, but we'll see what he does with it. But yeah, I was just curious.
All right. Next up, we have. Oh, I forgot already. I think it's JF. JF, you up? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready for you guys. Right now I'm just over here buying my Thor ticket for 3 o'clock today. But I just want to go ahead and say, shouts out to the Heat. It's been 12 years since LeBron made his decision to change the whole NBA world. So, you can congratulate him for going to Miami Heat, winning his 2 chips, leaving, and then Golden State Warriors taking over. So, shouts out to the decision.
Wow. I'm telling you, man, JF, he's learned. He's understood the power of propaganda. And I got to give him a point for staying, on point with the Miami Heat propaganda. He's there. Although I'm going to take away a point because when he mentioned Golden State, I really was hoping he was going to go into his Draymond hate. Missed opportunity there, JF, but okay. We get better and we move. Real quick, if you're at the Shy, if you check up on top, just put your reply to the tweet. And if you see it says Chris and Pickup Card Game, that is because co-tweeting is now a thing. And I can't wait to see like the hilarity that's going to ensue by the random co-tweets that are going to be sent to everybody. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll put in the community that we have the picture of what it looks like. And if you haven't joined the community, it's probably my fault because I don't push it a lot. But we actually have a Twitter community here for Hoop Spaces. We're looking at trying to get it to be more viable. Like, I'm not going to lie. I talk to Twitter research, and I give them a positive answer, and I give them a negative answer, right? In terms of, hey, what's good and what's bad. And, like, communities itself could have been so much more. But right now, it's kind of a combination of a group chat with the format of a timeline. There's some more things that'll be added to it in a little bit, but right now, all we're doing is getting the people who really like what we do here as a community to join. So I'll get that tweet up here. And if you do want to join, you can actually just search it, and it's actually open. All right. With that, I want to go ahead and thank everybody for popping in and giving us some time today. We are at the 12 o'clock hour, about 30 more minutes that we're going to be going here, and then I'm going to get me a good lunch. My question is, when we move beyond the Summer League issue here and we get back to NBA free agency, which seems to be co-opted by Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton is the next player to watch. Now, the issue that I'm hearing is the Indiana Pacers can't do anything until the 9th of July. That is due to the Malcolm Brogdon trade. So circle your calendar, ladies and gentlemen, because once you see the DeAndre Ayton movement, I think you're really going to see whether or not Kevin Durant is going to stay in Brooklyn. And if he doesn't, I think depending upon this Ayton-Indiana avenue, you could see a 3-team trade or a 4-team trade that will send reinforcements both to Brooklyn and to the Los Angeles Lakers. I just want to toss that up there because there's been a lot of talk about the likes of Buddy Hield, potentially Miles Turner being moved in this 3 or 4 team scenario, absorbing Russell Westbrook's $48 million salary so that next season they can get basically $50 million off the cap. All right, with that, I want to open up to your guys' questions. If you have any questions, please raise your hand so you can pop up here. If not, I'm going to let Dany D just make fun of 808s for like 29 minutes.
Why?
Because she's funny.
First of all, her team is second in the W right now, and they're trending downwards. Why would she deserve anything?
Because she's funny.
I don't care.
What? Go get you some baby milk. Go get you some. Go ahead. You know you want some. That's why you got the horn twice when you were
I don't like milk.
You had to get that protein. But that's why you drink that.
I can get protein from chicken tenders.
Oh, well, you look like a chicken tender.
Chicken tenders. That's where we at.
Tenders, Chris.
In the year of our Lord 2022.
Is chicken not protein?
That is a grown man. I get my protein from chicken tenders.
Chicken protein.
He mean chicken nuggets.
No, he meant tenders.
Protein left. You should be happy, man. That might have brought Protein P up here.
Now, what do you eat for protein?
I'm gonna text protein. Hold
on. I don't know. I don't eat chicken tenders. My son eats chicken tenders. I tend to eat like.
So you're calling me a child? Okay.
Well, no, I said my son eats chicken tenders. I said I didn't, and I declared a statement that my son did. Like there was no 808s in that statement. Like you're drawing a correlation that you see, sir. Not me.
I mean, no. Usually when I say something or anybody says something, it's like, oh, my kid does the same thing. It's like, oh, okay. So you're saying that the kid does it as a child?
Same thing. Now you are changing what I said and how I said. I said
Have you had your first stones today? Have you had your first stones today?
You see, Chris, you gaslighted me.
I am not gaslighting. If I wanted to gaslight you, it would be like on 100 right now. Hotshot, you don't need to put out your hand. We're on the back end of the portion. It's a smaller stage. Go ahead. What do you got? Hop in here.
I want to know what do you guys think is the best fit for DeAndre? What team?
Any team that will have a point guard that can run a pick and roll and actually pass them the ball.
The Bahamian national team. How about that?
That would be the Indiana Pacers.
What do you guys think about him going to Utah?
No.
Ew. For what?
I don't know. I've just heard that might be a possibility. Him going to Utah.
Well, they're because they need anybody who's young and talented, but. No, it's out of his camp, and the only things that I've seen is Indiana or Miami.
Miami, so they would trade Bam with Miami?
No, I'm saying out of his camp.
Oh, because I'm like, he ain't going to Miami. That's what he ain't going there.
Well, if Bam will shoot a 3 and move to the 4, he could.
Well, you think Bam is really going to develop an offensive game?
Well, I think the problem with Bam is that he emulates Jimmy Butler too much.
That's crazy, don't you think?
If he wanted to get an offensive game, he could. He can shoot corner 3. That's all he needs is to shoot. Go put on Al Horford tape, Bam. For real.
Yo, we were talking about this in another space the other day. Who's better, PG or Jimmy Butler?
Well, the issue with a comparison between PG and Jimmy Butler is they're just too different. PG's
who moves the needle more?
Neither.
Jimmy. Come on,
Neither.
Chris. You can't say that after Jimmy is what he's
You are a
Jimmy doesn't move anything.
I agree with you, Chris. Neither one of them.
Paul George hasn't even done nothing yet. He hasn't even made it to the finals.
Paul George took Indiana to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Are you forgetting his first portion of his career?
Killing me.
He's been league battling with LeBron
Paul George
for years.
was more impressive.
Again, this is
Paul George was one player away from beating Cleveland LeBron James and going to the
and Miami. Let's not forget that.
It wasn't Miami LeBron James.
It literally was Miami LeBron James.
That was the other time that
That was
he
the
had Roy
last
Hibbert.
recent scene. Yeah,
Man,
Roy
they
Hibbert.
were
With
literally
Roy
one guard
Hibbert.
away from doing it.
With
If,
Roy Hibbert.
if Roy Hibbert showed up,
First
you
of
know
all,
what I'm
we had
saying?
Birdman. I don't want to hear it.
Oh God.
Are we forgetting a good prime? Oh my God, Jesus
Just
Christ! Y'all
stop.
defending y'all
You can't
age.
talk
What
about the
happens? We
fans.
get a
You
guy
just
who
can't.
asks a question, and then an objective answer is given, and then a subjective rebuttal is given.
Well,
I love how it works here.
Well, Chris, what you said is that, if Bam can go to the four, that's what I would like, because at the end of the day, he would make a wonderful four, and he does have an offensive game. If you go back and look at the Olympics and you can hear what KD says, he's somebody that he would want to play in just because of his offense abilities. Bam has a bag. Why didn't he show it this year? I don't know. Is he going to show it next year? Probably. He's been working on his jump shot, and
Where
this
did
is
he
why.
show that bag, JF? Where did he show that bag?
All right, before this season, the previously 2 seasons, he has shown that he has an offensive game by averaging about 4 points every season since he started in the league. So if you really look at it, he has done good to go ahead and progress and become.
I'm talking about the how, JF. How does he get those points?
They're assisted. The assist rate is very high. He doesn't have his own
Geez. I hate when
offensive
I have to
bag.
do that, but
See,
how?
my issue is that Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler play the same position in Miami's offense, and then
Thank you.
Bam defers to Jimmy because Bam looks up to Jimmy, right? Like right now, the Miami Heat is listing freaking Duncan Robinson as their potential starting power forward because they have Bam slotted in the center slot and Jimmy slotted in small forward. Either Jimmy needs to move up to power forward or Bam needs to move down. Otherwise, you're going to have Bam still trying to be Jimmy Butler with Jimmy Butler still on the floor, right? Like it works in the regular season, but what you saw in the playoffs is, okay, we're not afraid of them. That's what you saw. Miami grinds and grinds and grinds, but these teams aren't afraid of Miami because they have two players who do the same thing and can't spread the floor. And you saw it too because Jimmy was forced to take threes that he never would have taken. Tell me how wrong.
That's fine, Chris. But what I'm trying to say is that teams are going to be scared of us defensively, which is going to off-throw the game. That's why we usually have a low-scoring game when we go against teams. Look at this. Look at the averages.
Hey, Chris, you want some stats?
But that doesn't work in the playoffs.
Can somebody tell me
It
how
mucks up the
Bam
paint.
scores, please?
Hey, Nat, if I
can
could give you some stats, I can show you.
He 808s has stats. Let's get stats, and hopefully that answers some stuff. We'll let JF respond, and then we'll open up to another question because I want y'all to talk about the Heat, but like I'm telling you now, they ain't going anywhere running it back.
All right, so look, Bam took 359 attempts at the rim this year, right? Almost 70% of them were assisted. From 3 to 10, about 60%. About 16 foot to 3, almost 60%. But what's crazy is the dunk rate, 92%. Pretty good. Almost 80% of those were assisted. Like, he doesn't have his own game unless somebody's giving it to him. And it's usually Jimmy on hook shots, like jump shots as well. Like, he doesn't have his own bag. And there's nothing wrong with that, but Miami can't keep focusing on him, making him one of their prime, targets if he's not actually going to be able to carry the load. And he can't.
But I thought he had an offensive bag is my question. So if he
He
has
does. It's just he needs a point guard to utilize it.
So
He doesn't have an offensive bag. He is mid, as KB would say. He plateaued. He don't have nothing.
I don't.
Whoa, no reason
He
calling
needs to
Bam
work on
mid
it.
when he had Draymond Green on your team and his 4 points in the final. Stop. I
Yeah,
almost won that bet
Well,
against
we
Perry.
don't depend on Draymond. You can miss me
Well,
with
wait,
that,
hold
but
on,
he does
hold on.
play
He averaged 20,
defense
10, and 4.
and
He
he
has a
moves the
bag.
ball.
Please respect him. Like, come on.
What the regular season? But I didn't see that in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean,
He's
the Miami Heat were
But he doesn't
like
have a
fully
consistent
injured
bag.
He
Reese.
doesn't have any footwork in the post. Common sense would have told him how to
Somebody don't
move
watch
a
Bam.
Williams. But
I don't
no,
think you
I
watch
saw
Bam.
you don't watch him because he was a waste of time. He clogs up the paint. That's why they were forced to shoot threes, and then the people they got out there shooting threes can't hit. Come on now, let's be real.
Danny D
Miami
has
can't
just
run
admitted
nothing
she
back.
does
They're gonna
not
be
watch.
back in the same place where they're at. They're gonna be back in the same place they were. They barely might not even make it to look. They front run just like somebody else in Phoenix. They front run. They would benefit from Aiden, but they're going to have to get rid of Bam to do
Oh,
that. I'm sorry.
Hey, Chris.
I don't
Or
think
play him on the
I don't
bench or put his
think
ass on the bench.
front running. I'm sorry. They went through an East that was the best East in the last 15 years, and they were number one. They're not front running. The issue is they don't scare anybody. And what happens when you are a team that doesn't scare anybody? You become food, right? And now you have a whole bunch of teams looking at Miami saying they didn't get better, we did, right? Like they're already saying they have to improve on the margins again. Well, how much better is Max Strus and Gabe Vincent really gonna be? Right?
I mean, it's not even really them. Like, they're not going to win the championship when Bam is barely shooting 41% on just jump shots. Like, that's not going to work.
Justin,
Can I respond, please?
DeAndre Ayton? What if you did it just a straight up trade for DeAndre Ayton and for Bam?
No.
That's even
would
worse.
the Heat get better though? Would the Heat get
No,
better? Though?
they wouldn't. They'd be worse.
No. You don't trade.
You know how much offense Miami's offense depends on
I
Bam's
hope they
passing.
do that trade. I
No.
hope they do that trade, please.
Well, of course you do. JF, come on in here, man. Like, go ahead.
Exactly. Look. Of course, Nat wants that trade because you know damn well what Bam does to Jason Tatum and what Jason Tatum does to
You're
himself.
behind
All right.
me, JF.
Those text messages
Don't
ain't gonna
talk
work for
about me
you,
like
Nat.
that.
They ain't gonna
You're
work for you, Nat.
behind me, buddy. You're behind me, buddy.
Ain't nobody
Remember
behind
that.
nobody.
You're
All right.
behind
Hey,
the Celtics,
ain't nobody.
buddy.
Look. Let me just put it to you this way: the man Jimmy Butler went against LeBron James. Jason Tatum went against Steph Curry and couldn't get it done. I don't want to hear it. Jason Tatum is not him. He is not going to be him.
That sounds
He
ridiculous,
needs a lot of help. Hold on. He needs a lot of
go
help. Okay, and they still went number 2 in the East with that great team. You're talking about Miami squad who got rid of Anthony Tucker, who was overvalued when he got that $30 million contract, and then we picked up a rookie for $2 million. We signed everybody back, and we still got enough wiggle room to get somebody or a sign and trade. We're in great position right now. I'm
You
not
want some
afraid of
kind
nothing.
of credit?
So hold
What kind of credit
on.
do you want?
Let me finish. Decorum, some decorum, please. So when you look at it, okay, I just said the decision 12 years ago is the reason why Golden State even got to where they are. Because if LeBron James stayed at Miami, it's a wrap. There is no Cleveland. There is no nothing. There is no Kevin Love. There is no none of that. And to me, if you really put that Heat team and they really stay for at least 7 years, they're probably going to get at least 2 to 3 more rings. That's a fact. Because at the end of the day, Dwayne Wade was still doing his thing. And the big three would have probably been done as soon as Chris Bosh caught the blood clot, which was in 2018, 2017 or something like that, which is fine. That would have gave us 3 extra years to dominate the league. That we wouldn't see the Golden State Warriors or Draymond even get a ring.
That's a lot.
So I don't want to hear it. Like, come on. And you lost to that team who has a mediocre power forward who averages 2 points in the finals, and they still beat you, and you let him talk for the whole summer.
And you lost
so you go
to
ahead and deal
us
with
with
that.
a whack ass bench. You can sit down, JF. You're still behind. You're still behind the Celtics. Tyler Hero didn't play when he did play. He wasn't good.
When Tyler Hero played during the bubble, he dropped 37.
All right. See, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is your preview of Benchwarmers when we get 2 people going up head to head. Here's the argument, ladies and gentlemen, that they didn't realize they were having. Boston versus Miami. I said it loud and clear. Miami didn't get better. Boston gets Malcolm Brogdon and looks like they're in prime position to get another move. But all we want to know, ladies and gentlemen, is who won this debate? The poll is up there. You have 2 choices, JF Cake and Reese Rebel. Go ahead and vote. We'll see who's going to come in Monday as the victor and get a victory lap and able to talk they smack. I want to thank JF Cake and Nat for participating in something that I just created right now because.
Wait, Chris. You didn't even give me an argument. Like, all you did was let him go on.
No, he said
about
your argument.
losing.
He said you got Malcolm
No, I
Brogdon.
didn't.
What else did he say?
Hold on.
Pritchard?
Calm down. JF Cake. I know. You lost to Peyton Pritchard. Like, you keep saying these things, and then we have this
I don't want to hear it.
have some
Benchwarmers in action.
Have some decorum. You lost to a team with a weak ass bench, okay?
Well,
so you can't. Decorum, JF Cake. Decorum. Okay, Bam was so damn great, and Jimmy is so damn great. Why didn't you fucking win? These guys were so, and your team is literally built to have guard depth. That didn't do shit for you. You still lost. So you telling me how great these guys are and how bad Jason Tatum is, but you fucking lost to him is crazy. I would never pick our bench over a lot of benches in the playoffs, and we still beat your ass. You are still behind us. You did not get better. Okay, that's what you need to worry about, JFK. Stop focusing on Boston. Focus on the Miami Heat roster.
Got you. Well, I just want to say this.
Wait,
Shouts out to y'all
no.
guys for
Oh,
losing for losing to Chris Middleton list Bucks and Tyler Hero list Miami Heat. And you also played against a
Tyler
38-year-old.
Hero is that good?
He also
you?
played. Well, he won the Sixth Man of the Year this year. Did anybody on your team win that?
I love it. I love it. But what I don't love is the fact that the Boston Celtics made it to the finals. Like, every time you say something, she just says, we made it to the finals. You lost to Peyton Pritchard and Luke Cornett. That is killer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, vote. But this discussion and debate is now paused until Monday. We'll see who wins. I appreciate JF and Nat getting it in. And as you heard, Maliika, if you like that, this is Bench Warmers. This is the show that we are getting ready to launch, as well as NBA trivia. And that is to give us a little bit of a different, content field as we approach the dog days of summer. And no more basketball after summer league for a while. JF, no more debating.
No, it's not debate. I just want to say you ain't got to wait till next week. You can just watch tomorrow when we go against the Boston Celtics in the summer league. Appreciate it.
Oh, summer league.
That's the only hope they have.
Hoop is hoop.
That's the only hope.
I'm gonna have to boot you both off the stage. Maliika, talk, save us.
I just wanted to say that there will be basketball continuing because the W will be playing throughout the summer. So please note that basketball will continue, and TBT is coming soon. It will have control of ESPN for weeks. So there will be basketball coming, just not NBA basketball. So I think we need to be careful with that language. Thank you.
All right, I'm sure to say it again because I use it synonymously with the NBA. But you are correct. There is basketball, and I watch it too. It's 40 years of being told. Deprogramming is one of the hardest things you can do to your brain. And if you do need to deprogram, which is basically breaking away from, technology and stuff like that, don't hesitate. Sometimes walk for a couple
and some good basketball too, like not just
now you're just interrupting to interrupt.
And some good basketball, and
you had moved
the
on.
All-Star game is tomorrow for the W.
I'm gonna get there. I love. I have people DM me like, I don't want to tell you how to do your show or space, and I'm like, yeah, you do, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have DM'd me. Saying. Now I got to restart all over again. Yeah, that Miami losing to Peyton Pritchard and Luke Cornett and Sam Hauser. That's some shit right there. All right. Wow.
You ain't right, Chris.
They would have got swept by the Warriors anyway. So.
Man, I swear, I say one thing, and I just, there was no need for a response. You lost to a team with Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, and Luke Cornett. Tell me I'm wrong. Just say I'm wrong if I'm wrong. I've got no problem admitting when I am wrong. I admit I'm wrong at least 3 times every day, man. I make it a habit, right? Because everybody can be wrong. But I am not wrong, sir, to say that the Miami Heat lost to Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, and Luke Cornett.
All right, Chris, can I admit one thing?
Sure.
All right, I admit that team is the same team that beat your 76ers, so I don't want to hear about it. All right, Chris?
You don't hear me crying about it. I said, And the Sixers look bad.
Chris, just remember we're one Jimmy Butler 3 away from the finals. Appreciate it.
Yes, one Jimmy Butler 3 away from the finals. You're absolutely right. If only Luke Cornett wasn't there to play some lockdown defense.
Chris, he was not there on that play. Stop with me. Come on. That was Al Horford. That was Al Horford stretching out there.
Hey, man, look, they all look the same to me, right? They're all about equity. Luke Cornett, man. Vanderbilt career leader in blocks, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we've got open mic spaces. We have bench warmers coming through. We have NBA trivia and the rewind. Like you have all this stuff that seems to be a little bit different than what we do here every day, talking basketball. And if you like it, thank you. We appreciate it. But we want to do more. And I say that saying we want to know what you want to talk about, or maybe ideas that you have, and throw them out there, and then maybe we'll see what comes of it. As we grow, other people are going to want to have their shot of chasing their dream or providing content that they want to provide. So if you see something that you think is missing, let us know, and we'll see what maybe we can do together to bring it to the community. I got 9 minutes left. I've literally got nothing else to talk about. So I am just going to play this, and maybe somebody else opens their mic. No, I guess not.
A question that doesn't need to be asked today. It could be asked another day on another show. So,
All right.
I want to extend it when,
Well, the WNBA All-Star Game is this weekend. And if you are in Chicago and you want to meet up with the Pickup Card Game, just say what's up. Pick up your copy of the Pickup Card Game, too, over at slamgoods.com. It's only $25. It's worth it. And who wins, Team Wilson or Team Stewart? That's what we should do now.
Team Wilson.
Now, why do you say that?
Well, she do got a pretty good squad. She got the big girls up in there. She got some good guards up in there. I just feel good about Team Wilson. With him be saying he will win that 3-point competition tomorrow. I'm interested in seeing that. Will the champ repeat, or will somebody arise from the ashes and become the new 3-point champ? That's the real question.
That's a good question. I also, it's kind of hard because there's probably two people who probably should have been on the contest itself. I'm interested to see Skylar Diggins-Smith and the media. I'm not going to lie. Somebody said that this could be her Draymond moment, and I immediately cringed.
She's going to speak with how she feels.
I know.
She ain't one to hold her tongue.
That's why I cringed, and I can't wait to see it.
I want to see if somebody asks her a question about the rumors about them seeking to trade her. That's what I need that answer. How she feel about that? Because she's balling out, but I just want to see if somebody's going to trade for what she's going to say about that, and how her coach and her don't get along, and all that kind of stuff. I just want to see that.
All right, we have Hoop Spaces Ryan up on stage, and it looks like Hoop Spaces Ryan is here for trivia. I still actually have to find a replacement trivia theme because we don't have a license to play the Fan Feud song, which annoys me because it's the perfect one. Ryan, what do you have for the good people today?
All right, I am driving right now, but I wanted to let everybody know that we do have some trivia questions, and I'd like to give people a taste of what kind of trivia questions we ask here at Hoop Spaces. So, Chris, if I could direct you to your DMs, I sent you a couple trivia questions that we could share with the people today. Do you have a chance that you could possibly pull those up, my good friend?
Yep, I'm looking at them right now.
All right, if we could gather a couple people on stage, I know we do have a couple right now, and maybe play a little round. I don't have the ability to read them because I am driving, but Chris, if you could play the trivia master, maybe we could play a little quick round of trivia.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. If you have, the time, raise your hand. I've got the questions for trivia. We'll get a little background music with the actual theme song for the show. We have Maliika Walker. We have Reese Rebel, JFK, Dany D, and Hot Shot up on stage for this trivia. Anybody else? Now's the time to raise your hand. I will go ahead and give you the first question. All right. First question. Order these players by playoff points scored. Dwayne Wade, Larry Bird, Tony Parker.
JF.
That is JF. Go ahead.
So starting from 3 or starting from 1?
Go from either way.
Okay, so you had Tony Parker, Larry Bird, and Wade. So I think Tony Parker is number 3, Larry Bird is number 2. No, Wade's number 2, and Bird is number 1. Damn.
Ooh, so sorry. Just say your name. That's how I know. I see hands up, but you're not saying your name. You cue in with your name.
Nat, do you want to go?
Oh, dang. I was trying to get off. Okay, so I'll say Tony Parker is number 1, Bird's number 2, and Wade's number 3.
Jesus, yeah, Maliika.
I knew that was right.
That's disrespectful now.
Tony, like, who are the 3 again?
Tony Parker, Larry Bird, Dwayne Wade.
I have Tony Parker as number 1, Dwayne Wade number 2, and Larry Bird number 3.
Congratulations. Maliika has 1 point, and she is in the lead, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Question number 3. During what season did the Lakers set the winning streak record of 33 straight wins?
JF. 2000.
During what season did the Lakers set the winning streak record of 33 straight wins?
Nat, 1988. Jesus.
Where is Mike from OC when you need him?
This is Danny. I'm going to say 2000.
I just said that, Danny.
Oh, shit. I didn't even. That was weird. Sorry.
Okay, Nat, 87.
Maliika, 1971.
Maliika with another win, up 2-0.
I've been going through a lot of Lakers content recently, so reading Westbrook, reading Jerry Westbrook, going through all these, rewinds. It has to pay off at some point.
Well, here you go. For your singular question, this question now is for Maliika and Maliika only, as if this was a championship round. Maliika, super pressure here, because if you lose this, if you get this wrong, you lose everything. Are you ready?
Everything quiz, so I go down to 0 points.
You lose.
This is like a Jeopardy if you bet all your money. And
this is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. If you're wrong, you're wrong.
Okay, if I'm wrong amount, let's go.
How many seasons total did the Memphis Grizzlies have a Gasol on the team?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to put now.
Just take a guess. It's a number.
8. 12, 14. I don't know.
18, ladies and gentlemen, is the correct answer. 18 years, 18 seasons did the Memphis Grizzlies have a Gasol on their roster.
I'm like a basic Warrior fan. I didn't pay attention to the Memphis Grizzlies till they started winning, so I wouldn't know the answer to that question.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. 3 quick hitters of trivia, and unfortunately, nobody.
Not you, TJ. Not you, TJ.
Our darling Nikki. Yeah. She's a Warriors fan.
Or darling Nikki. But some of the others, when they started winning, all of a sudden you became a fan. Yeah, I'm talking to y'all.
Yeah, Sage is adjacent, right? Like, we got to throw her out there. Big shout out to Sage Monroe. That Mav Warrior life has got to be really hectic, though. It's got to be hard. Like, Luka versus Steph. Like, who do you root for? Couldn't be me. That's tough. Whoa. You drinking
Wow.
12:30?
Oh, my bad, Chris. I thought I was on mute. My bad. God damn, I'm rude.
That's the kind of life he's living, y'all, up there in Miami.
Hey, chill
I just
out,
want
man.
to
I
let
got
y'all
my
know
manners in my
that.
crib.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen. I am a gentleman and a scholar, all right? I treat women with respect, and I look out for the kids. Can't say nothing bad about me.
We believe you.
Yeah, I just don't think Coke at 12:30 is a good choice, but that's just
I was sweet tea, Chris. I was sweet tea. McDonald's sweet tea.
you burping off a sweet tea. That's some strong tea, bro.
Damn, all right. Enough about me, dog. Come on, let's get to basketball.
WNBA All-Star Game tomorrow. Right? Tomorrow. Yeah. Sue Bird, final All-Star game. You know who's
No,
got
like
Wait.
the WNBA All-Star Game, like All-Star Weekend.
Weekend starts tomorrow. My bad.
Yeah, the weekend starts tomorrow because tomorrow you have the skills and 3-point, and the game itself is on Sunday. It's early as hell at 1, but with all those summer league games and stuff, they're just trying to get everything in. But yeah, that's the weekend.
All right, so we got that to check out for the weekend. We also have, as Maliika just said, a full slate of summer league games. Every team would have played starting Monday. So we got a lot of basketball this weekend, as everybody is now giving JF the business. I'm sorry, JF, man. It's just, hey, ride through the storm, brother.
Hey, I got tough skin. I can take it.
That's what I'm talking about. Point to you.
You
all
got
right.
that 808 treatment. That's why 808 left. 808 would have stayed. He would have got abused by it.
I mean,
Okay.
if you really look at it, Dany D, the demographics of the stage right now, like Chris is not going to rank on any female, so I'll take the offering and do the rank session for the males.
All right. Ryan, how did trivia go for you?
Very happy. I hope everybody liked the quality of the questions. I hope they're not too hard, not too easy, just right. We tend to run with harder questions than the average. I try to make it so that you can't just Google them in 2 seconds. So I'm wondering if everybody's okay with that.
All right. Help us out. Give us some feedback.
I loved it because I didn't know. But I was a little upset because as far as the Tony Parker Wade in Bird question, I was like one swap off, and that's upsetting. But it was great. So keep it coming.
I love that. That's upsetting.
Yeah, I'm upset that I didn't get that question. I should have known 06 Wade was one of the top 3 performances of all time.
Yeah, we will be thrilled to roll this out as part of an additive, whether to the Daily Show or on its own to the community. So pay attention. Make sure you shoot a follow to everybody who provided value, and we will see you on Monday, unless, of course, I decide to take a 3-day weekend and sneak over to Chicago.
When we getting bench warmers?
I have work to do. She Nat wrote up her side. I have to read it, and then hopefully my memory is jogged. I then rewrite what we had talked about, and then we'll pick a day and time.
Nat, can you update your Twitter so we don't have to see you with your solo 100, you and 808s? Thank you.
No. Nah, keep the 100s. I like it when people have the 100s. It makes me remember the old days on Twitter Spaces. Imagine that. All right, that's it for me, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. We will see you Monday, unless I do sneak over to Chicago for the WNBA All-Star Weekend. I hope that you enjoy your weekend, and remember, if you are out on your bike, do wear white if you are riding at nighttime. I have to say it differently, otherwise Tony Kornheiser will get angry. Peace out, everybody.
I'll say vote for me in the poll if you think Jason Tatum is not him.
And this show is brought to you by the Miami Heat, who lost to Peyton Pritchard, Luke Corday. Have
a great day, Chris.
Have a great weekend, JF. Have a great weekend, Maliika, Dany D, TJ, Rolo, Jose, Darling Nikki, Optimistic Pels fan, Connor, Who Spaces Ryan, and the Pick-Up Card Game, where you can find on slamgoods.com. $25. Go pick up your own copy. See you later. Do yourself a favor. Say no to hash browns.
We like